Hello. Hello? Can you hear me? Making sure the mic works. Hello, hello. Alright, looks like everything working. Hello, Wolfpack! We're back! And Catastrophe once again is ranking his favorite sexy Catwomen. We're doing a tier list this time on every Catwoman adaptation ever on one whole tier list. Yep, we got all of them from the old cartoons, Julie Newmar, all the way to the Arkhamverse and Telltale series. Every iteration of Catwoman released so far is on this tier list. Hey, John Smith, glad you made it. Okay, good, you can hear me. Yep, we're talking about Catwoman, or I should say Catwomen. Somebody asked me to do a ranking on every Catwoman ever, my thoughts on them. Unfortunately, as you can see, there's a huge number of them. I have done my top 10 favorite Catwomen ever, so you will most definitely see them high up on this tier list. But yeah, talking about my favorite DC waifu, my favorite Batman villain, favorite Batman love interest, the sexy anti-hero Catwoman. From Selina Kyle to Patience Phillips. Yep, she's on here too. We're gonna be ranking every iteration from in Batman media who's had Catwoman. Catwoman from the cartoons, to the video games, to the movies, to the animated movies, and even Lego versions on here. Every Catwoman ever released so far. I'm sure we'll get more in the future, but as you can see, we got a lot to work with. So we're going to be doing a tier list ranking all my favorite Catwoman from best to worst. So, I'll explain a tier list for those of you who've never experienced a tier list for the first time. Best to worst rankings. Every Catwoman's going to go up on here on my tier list. Up top, we have perfect. These are the S tier, the best of the best, the greatest Catwomen of all time, and you'll most likely be seeing a bunch up here because we've had so many perfect iterations of the cute kitty. Then we have, hey, what happened to my valuables? These are Catwomen who are good. They stole the show, they did their job, they acted as a good Catwoman. These are fun iterations, but far from perfect. Then we have, who's a good kitty? These are decent ones. These are fine Catwomen. They're the okay. They're above average. They did their job. They looked hot. They played Catwoman well. Unfortunately, they didn't have as much charm as the higher up Catwomen. Other than Patience, is there any that isn't Selina? I think the Chinese Catwoman is on here. I do not think this is Selina Kyle. Yeah, the DC Nation short Selina made it on here too. And I'm not sure, is the Batwheels Catwoman Selina Kyle? They did make her black like Eartha Kitt, but I can't tell if it was actually Selina or a whole new iteration. Anyways, who's a good kitty? These are above average. They did their job. They're okay. Then we'll have, well, she'll do. These are meh, mid, average kitties. They're fine. They have good moments, but also a lot of bad holding them back. Not my favorite Catwomen, but I'm sure other people like them. They're the ones that will just do fine. Then we have bad kitty, needs to be declawed. These are awful, the worst of the worst, the bad kitties, the terrible iterations of Catwomen, and sadly we might see some down here. And last we got Catzilla. These are ones I don't recognize. Yeah, I'm just gonna add this here because there are some I do not recognize. I did not grow up with the 60s and 70s cartoon versions on here, so yeah, these are Catwomen I have no familiarity with, have not seen their shows, and don't really have much to say about them. The ones I just never saw, basically Catzilla. Yeah, but Bad Kitty, this is the awful one. This is the real bottom tier. But yeah, this is going to be our tier list, and as you can see, we got a lot of Catwomen, so we should start. Yeah, in the 66, Batman never used any of the villain's civilian names, so that's open to interpretation. Yeah, as you can see, 3 Catwomen were from that Adam West Batman era. I guess it was easier to swap out the characters if they didn't give them, like, an official name. Yeah, we never saw their civilian lives. The Batman villains were in costume pretty much 24/7 as their villain identities, but that's what made the show kind of fun. Sorry, I got my 500 waters here to stay hydrated because we have a lot to discuss. So, I love Catwoman. She's my favorite character. I made a top 10 list telling how much I love Catwoman. My DC waifu. I adore her. Love the character. She is fun. Like her as a villain. Like her as an anti-hero. Loved her in many cartoons. She was a cartoon crush for me, of course. She even made it on my top 10 waifus list, which you should all totally watch. Or my top 10 Catwoman list, where I talk about all her best iterations, and you can bet my mind has not changed on some of those, but we'll see if I have changed my mind doing this tier list. But anyways, yeah, we should start. Basically, if you don't know, Catwoman is Selina Kyle in most iterations. Her origin is not rock solid. It has changed depending on the writer and the iteration. Sometimes she was an orphan who grew up on the mean streets of Gotham. Sometimes she was an abused child who ran away. Sometimes she was a stewardess who lost her memory. And sometimes she didn't even get the Catwoman skills until her adulthood. A lot of shifting in her writing, basically. She has had the reset button basically smashed on her origin multiple times, and each Catwoman does have her own unique identity, some good and some bad. So I guess we should start this list. Let's get some of the Catwomen I don't recognize out of the way. Let's get the 60s cartoon Catwoman going on Catzilla. Yeah, never watched this cartoon. I believe they based this version of Catwoman on her original comic look, mixed a bit with the Adam West Julie Newmar look, because she looks like she's a splice between Julie Newmar Catwoman and her original green outfit she wore in the original Batman comics. Never watched this show before in my life. I do not have an opinion on this Catwoman. I would say if I did, she might make it on Well, She'll Do, but don't have much familiarity with her. This is basically generic villain Catwoman. And I guess we should also get this orange one out of the way. I believe this is the Catwoman from that weird Batman cartoon with Batgirl and Batmite. Batmite was kind of like a Scrappy-Doo sidekick to Batman, and he had a crush on Batgirl. I believe this is the Catwoman they fought. Never watched that cartoon in full and never saw this Catwoman, so I'll have to put her on Don't Recognize. I'm sorry to my 60s era Batman fans, but I don't recognize her cartoon forms. Alright, so let's talk about the Catwoman who became a household name, the Adam West era Catwoman. Starting with Julie Newmar. Newmar going on to perfect. Yep, appropriately our first perfect Catwoman. Love Julie Newmar. Julie Newmar is hot. She looks cool. She kicks ass. She's got this suave femme fatale demeanor. We sadly don't get too much of her character outside of her massive villainous crush on Batman. And her and Adam West, Batman and Catwoman, very cute and adorable. It's a lot more innocent, wholesome, and child-friendly. Her Catwoman, pretty hot, actually. Pretty surprisingly risque for a show aimed at families. Sis Selina wears the skin-tight suit. Julie Newmar is a bombshell, man. She is hot, and she's not afraid to show how hot she is, which is why I like her. And I actually liked Julie Newmar came back on the animated Adam West cartoons, and yeah, she still had her flirty side even in her golden years. Yeah, Julie Newmar still kicks ass all these years later. So yeah, she is perfect. Love her Catwoman, love her sexy feline accent, love her chemistry with Adam West, love the silly hijinks this Catwoman gets in. Just an FYI, the Adam West show is kind of goofy, it's silly, it's classic Golden Age comics, where comic books were more outlandish, absurd, in your face. There was a plot where Catwoman goes to college, seriously, and Catwoman starts like hypnotic music and a lot of more sillier villainous schemes. Counting Catwoman like Sheldon instead of lambs. Hey James, I'm glad you made it. Yeah, my familiarity with Batmite basically begins and ends with the references in Peacemaker. Batmite was on Brave and the Bold, where they actually redeemed him. He was a lot funnier there, and basically kind of a meta Deadpool character. He was a lot of fun on Brave and the Bold. That show made Batmite actually cool. Otherwise, he's kind of annoying and everything else. Anyways, Julie Newmar, she is perfect. This is definitely easily the most deserving of the perfect space of our Catwoman trend. Alright, so gotta talk about the other ones. Next, I believe came Lee Merriweather. That was her name. Lee Merriweather, my first Catwoman. I got introduced to Batman when my grandma used to babysit me and my brother Wolf. My grandma owned the Adam West Batman movie, and that was my exposure to Batman. And Lee Merriweather is actually my first Catwoman, so she's going on to what happened to my valuables. She's not as good as Julie Newmar, I will admit that. However, loved her performance in the movie. She definitely did not slouch in that department. She was kind of a stand-in for Julie Newmar, but instantly kind of made Catwoman her own. Number one, we actually see Catwoman and Bruce Wayne out on a date. We see their relationship is actually up front, is finally dramatic for once in Adam West's Batman story. Basically, in her one movie, she teams up with the Joker, Riddler, and Penguin in their crazy plan to take the United Nations hostage and ransom them. They fight on that Penguin submarine, and during this scheming, Lee Merriweather goes undercover as a reporter named Miss Kitka. Yeah, really, Miss Kitka. She seduces Bruce Wayne, and they try to take him hostage. Bruce is trying to save her because he doesn't know Miss Kitka and Catwoman are the same person. Eventually, he finds out during the final fight where Catwoman's actually unmasked in this movie, where we see Lee Merriweather's pretty face, and Batman cries and then gets over it in 2 minutes. Yeah, basically. He gets over it and arrests her, and Lee Merriweather doesn't come back until a cameo in one of the animated Adam West movies. I believe it's Batman vs. Two-Face, where hilariously they make fun of how Catwoman changed actresses. Lee Merriweather has a cameo as Julie Newmar, Catwoman's lawyer, and Catwoman breaks out of prison by swapping places, and Lee Merriweather is dressed and tied up in the Catwoman costume and locked in her place in prison. And yeah, it's actually a pretty funny cameo and a cute allusion to how the Adam West show switched actors a lot. How you take care of a bomb in Batman movie meme. Yeah, I really loved that scene. Yeah, I think the movie was all she did. I think Newmar had a contract dispute or something. Okay, that explains it. Yeah, the Adam West show swapped out actors a lot, and Julie Newmar could not appear in the Adam West movie for some reason, so Lee Merriweather kind of stood in for her, and yeah, she did her job. I'll put her on what happened to my valuables, because she's good, but not as great as the Newmar. Hey Akira, glad you made it. We're not very far. We knocked out 2 Catwoman I don't know, and we're on Adam West era. So let's end the Adam West 60s era with Eartha Kitt, the first black Catwoman. I guess Batman never questioned how she changed her skin tone, but Eartha Kitt, she was pretty sexy, so I'll put her on, hey, what happened to my valuables? And yeah, she'll go ahead of Lee Merriweather because she had more stories. Eartha Kitt basically carrying on the torch for Julie Newmar. Julie Newmar kind of left the show at this point, so Eartha Kitt stood in and basically started the trend of black Catwomen. Nothing against it. I know there's gonna be a lot of people asking, why is Catwoman black? I do not know. I'm pretty sure they just didn't care, but Eartha Kitt did a pretty good job. She's the one with the feline accent, always rolling her R's and making purring noises. Eartha Kitt, pretty hot, honestly. I'm surprised she didn't get any shipping moments with Adam West Batman. I guess they were afraid because that she wasn't as good as Julie Newmar, but I thought she was pretty good. She was hot, she was scary, she was threatening. This is a more villainous Catwoman, more threatening. She playfully teased Adam West Batman, but we never got anything like them sharing milkshakes together at the malt shop like in the original seasons. Eartha Kitt Catwoman is not sexy. Ah, that's racist, Ira. Nah, I'm just kidding, yeah. I thought she was actually pretty. Not as hot as Julie Newmar, that's for sure, but honestly, I thought she was very pretty. She was cute. She had like a grumpy cat kind of persona. This was a more angry, bitter, slashy Catwoman, more feisty. And yeah, I think they all kind of reflected different personas of Catwoman when they swapped out actresses. We got the playful, flirty femme fatale Catwoman, the smug schemer Catwoman, and we have the anger-prone catty Catwoman. So yeah, Eartha Kitt, I thought she did a fine job. She's not in S tier for me, but she'll be on What Happened to My Valuables. She did her job well. Also, fun fact, Eartha Kitt was Keisha's grandma in Magic School Bus and Yasma, yep, from The Emperor's New Groove. I pointed that out to you. Yeah, this I think was like season 3 where they had the budget cuts and all other executive nonsense. Yeah, you could tell. Season 3, not as solid as the first 2 seasons, and most of the cast kind of left by that point. I think Cesar Romero and Burgess Meredith were the only villain actors who stayed. Those were the Joker and Penguin, and people really liked them, so of course they used the budget on them. Catwoman and Riddler's actors were kind of out. They had Gomez Adams play the Riddler for the final season, which was pretty weird. But the DC Superheroes 2019 Catwoman was based on this version. Yeah, that's true. We got Cree Summers, DC Supergirl's Catwoman on here too. She's inspired by Eartha Kitt, so she did leave a slash mark on this character's history. At least Eartha Kitt Catwoman didn't turn into a kitten like Emperor's New Groove. No, but that was a reference to her era as Catwoman in her career. Also, Julie Newmar was in the Twilight Zone episode of Late I Think of Cliffordville. Yeah, we reviewed that episode, Akira. We already knew that. Julie Newmar loved her. She was the best of the Adam West ones. The other two were fine. They were stand-ins, but they did a good job. Alright, so where to go from here? These Catwomen aren't in order from this point on, so I guess we could just wing it, go anywhere. So since we're on the live action shows, let's talk about Gotham. Selina Kyle, aka the Cat, played by Cameron Bicondova in her first 5 seasons, and then the finale replaced her with Lily Simmons or someone like that. Gotham Catwoman, going on to perfect. Yeah, I actually really like this Catwoman. Yes, I know she is a child, so don't worry, I don't think of her sexually. She was my age when the show was on, but whatever. I like this Catwoman. I loved orphan Selina Kyle, basically a sassy, troublemaking, juvenile hall punk kid who's growing up on the mean streets. This Selina is literally like a stray cat. She's an orphan living on the poor district of Gotham, trying to basically get by. She's climbing buildings, parkouring, kind of acting like a cat too, because she steals like milk, steals food. She lives in like an alley with a hovel of runaway cats, and Selina witnesses the Wayne parents getting killed in this version, and she's a witness who can help Bruce in court, where Bruce and she kind of have an odd romance, which is very cute, very adorable. She gets Bruce to unlock his inner child, act like a kid again after the dark, depressing loss of his parents. Both versions. She was cute and has a beautiful romantic relationship with Bruce. Yeah, talking about Selina Kyle from Gotham, yeah. She's nicknamed Cat in this because she's kind of acting like a cat. They refer to her as kind of like a stray, a runaway. Selina gets a lot of good episodes. Basically, she's a lot more hardened already. This is the Catwoman who grew up poor. She's living on the harsh ghetto of Gotham, and she's street smart. She's used to the kind of world Gotham is, very bitter, very jaded, knows what the bad things bad people do, while Bruce is kind of sheltered, and Selina's helping him get acquainted with life on the streets, the hard life of Gotham, not having the riches that he and his family had. And inadvertently helping Bruce mold his Batman persona, understanding what Gotham is a wretched hive and what it's really like in the seedy underbelly of the mean streets. Love Selina in this. Cameron Bicondova is very fun. She's sassy, she's witty, she's not afraid to talk back against the adults. This Catwoman does have her badass moments, and they do show she does have limits. Catwoman can still get hurt. There's an arc where she's hospitalized. She got like shot by the Joker and is crippled until they use poison ivy magic to help her walk again. Yeah, Gotham's a really weird show. Sorry, just checking the comments. Cameron Bicondova was in Shake It Up and won the 41st Saturn Award for Best Performance by a Young Actor in a TV Series. You definitely want Bruce and Selina to end up together. Yeah, she and Bruce have a cutesy tween romance. They start out as kids but become teenagers as the show goes on because obviously the kids are growing up, and Bruce and Selina have a very wholesome kind of romance. She's the poor girl on the wrong side of the tracks, the tough, badass girl. He's the sweet, kind-hearted, gentle boy, slowly coming into manhood, but he's trying to hold on to his ideals and faith in good, and they have their fights, have their petty squabbles. There is a brief moment where they break up. I think they break up twice, and Bruce is seduced by Silver St. Cloud and making Selina jealous. I love that Catwoman had a romantic rival for Bruce's affection in this. Silver St. Cloud is actually an undercover mole working for Theo Gallivan's cult and seducing Bruce, and we do see Silver and Selina have like a catty bitch fit on the side. Like, they're both masking there's deep searing hatred for each other. Love that Selina actually one-ups her in the end, exposes that Silver is a bitch, saves Bruce. They break up again, where Bruce finally kills his parents' killer, defeats Ra's al Ghul, and Selina kind of becomes like an apprentice for the Tigress. Yeah, the Tigress is in the show. She was Theo Gallivan's psychotic enforcer sister. Then she starts working with Barbara Keene when she becomes a mob boss of her own. Tigress takes Selina under her wing, and very strongly implied this is how she learns to become Catwoman, because Tigress is also a cat-themed assassin experienced with a whip, and shows Selina the ropes, takes her in as a villain apprentice, and Selina gains her Catwoman skills by learning from her. Yeah, I watched this one channel where a guy reacts to Ned's Declassified. Every time I talked about Moe's, I feel the need to use a disclaimer. I'm her age, lol. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, some of these characters were older than me, okay? They were the same age as me. I know they're kids on the show, but I was a kid watching the show. Also, Martha Wayne in Batman Brave and the Bold, Chill of the Night. That was Julie Newmar. Also, 2 days till my birthday. Happy birthday, Kira. Not sure if we'll have anything released by then. It's a shame Catwoman wasn't in the stream since I want to talk to her about her opinion and her different designs. Yeah, sorry, I don't have Selina's calling card, but, you know, professional thief, gotta keep a low profile. Lily Simmons was on a Showtime called Donovan for a season with Origin Sabretooth. I crushed pretty hard on her. Yeah, if you don't know, Lily Simmons kind of takes over Selina in the finale, and I'm just gonna say it is pointless. It is such a pointless change. They had a time skip, and basically Cameron Bicondova was too young to be Selina. They wanted a young adult Selina who's finally donning the Catwoman suit, and they changed it to Lily Simmons, and Lily is 100% pointless in this role because her scenes could have been cut and it wouldn't have changed a damn thing. We see her dressed as Catwoman once and serving as a maid at Barbara Keene's gangster bar, and she and Bruce have one interaction in the finale where they start their will they won't they romance that all the Batman fans are familiar with, and honestly, she could have been deleted entirely and the finale would have played out the exact same. It is a very pointless change, and I don't think Cameron was too young to be an older Selina, but whatever. They probably just should have left Catwoman away, but they kept her around because she was there at the start of the series, so she should be here when it ends, which I understand, but I wish she did a lot more. Lily Simmons was kind of a pointless Catwoman, if you ask me. Tigress. I never heard of her in DC Comics. Tigress is actually Sportsmaster's wife, and if you're familiar with Young Justice, that's who Artemis kind of becomes. Artemis becomes like the new Tigress. She like takes up her mom's mantle basically and becomes a good guy. Like, I see Ann Takami feel like JRPG Catwoman design. Like, did Ann Takami watch DC Comics? I want to see adults of Bruce and Selina in Gotham's. Yeah, that would have been nice, but the show got canceled, and it was kind of done by then. It was basically a prequel showing how Batman and his villains eventually become the people we know them as. Bruce finally gets the Batsuit. Spoilers, it looked god-awful in the Gotham finale. Catwoman finally becomes Catwoman. The Joker is Jeremiah. He looks like Uncle Fester for some reason, but yeah, basically Batman sets up everything, and Catwoman and Batman end on their will they, won't they romance, where Selina's now a full-time villain, but she still has feelings for Bruce, and the last time we ever see them, Bruce implies that it's not over yet, but he wants her to be good, and she's not a good kitty who can be controlled, and whatever. I like Cameron Bicondova's Catwoman. She did make my top 10 list. Really adorable Selina. Loved her origin story. Loved her on the show. She was one of the best characters. She had her flaws, and she had her strengths, and I will defend that she was a perfect kid Selina. Oh, by the way, Cameron Bicondova was also selected for this role because she looked like a young Michelle Pfeiffer. That was what they were kind of going for with her, which, yeah, definitely made her more appealing. So, yeah, she's going on perfect. Alright, who should we do next? I guess we should do some dead duck Catwoman. Let's do Zoe Kravitz is Lego Catwoman, who's going on to, well, she'll do. Yeah, Zoe Kravitz did play Catwoman before on the Lego Batman movie, and basically it's a cameo. Zoe Kravitz doesn't get to do anything in this movie. She's not even Batman's love interest. For some reason, Rosario Dawson's Barbara Gordon Batgirl is Batman's love interest, and yeah, I do not like shipping Batman and Batgirl, because Batgirl is supposed to be a daughter surrogate for Bruce, but apparently that's the route they were going, and yeah, this Catwoman barely did anything. She's like a cameo amongst an entire sea of villains. We see Billy D. Williams' Joker, we see the Condiment King, like every Batman villain ever is here, and basically Catwoman's just a cameo. Zoe Kravitz has like 3 lines in this, and kind of a tease for Catwoman for the Batman, but yeah, this basically average. She barely did anything. She'll do. I hate they didn't get the Joker right. You mean on Gotham? Yeah, I definitely feel that. I hate... Or are you talking about Lego Joker, the one that wanted to be Batman's best frenemy kind of antagonist? That was a weird direction, but it made me laugh. Also, there's a Batman fan film called Batman Dying is Easy. I hate Barbara Gordon in Gotham. Oh, preaching to the choir, James. Hate Barbara Keene on Gotham. She was a character who outlived her welcome, and Jim was better off with Dr. Leslie Tompkins. By the way, Warner Brothers canceled the Wonder Woman game, since it's a shame we can't see video game Cheetah. I agree, they massacred my girl Cheetah on Wonder Woman 84. Was looking forward to that Wonder Woman game, but it was canceled. It is public knowledge. I saw on Twitter/X, they have canceled the Wonder Woman game, so sorry DC fans, but that's another plug that's been pulled. I hate they didn't get the Joker right. Yeah, I think he's talking about the Gotham Joker, the Jerome and Jeremiah Valeska twins. I thought Jerome was pretty good. Jeremiah did grow on me, but I did not like how they made him look in Gotham. That was my biggest issue. Curse you, David Zaslav. Yep. Like, why Catwoman's catsuit colored purple? Well, Akira, it was purple briefly in the comics. We see her purple dress here. We see Injustice Catwoman with the purple outfit. And yeah, Catwoman did have a purple costume once, most famously in The Long Halloween, and there was an era where she was basically a purple cat, and some iterations try to carry that on to questionable degrees. Zoe Kravitz is hot, but I have issues with a few of Matt Reeves' interpretations of the characters. Yeah, me too. I hate Barbara Gordon in Gotham, and they didn't get the Joker right. Yeah, I agree. Jeremiah was kind of a mess. Jerome was better, even if not fully Joker, but I thought he did good. Cameron Monaghan, I will defend, is a good Joker actor overall. Zoe Kravitz became Angel Salvador from X-Men First Class to Catwoman. Yeah, I loved X-Men First Class, and thought she was just as hot as Catwoman. I don't like Lego Batman, only Batman Lego. Also, she's Mary Jane Parker in the Spider-Verse. Oh, didn't know that. And Anne Takayama is the only blonde Catwoman with the red cat suit. Alright, since we're on Zoe Kravitz, I guess we should talk about the Batman, the cat burglar Catwoman, Selina Kyle, the next black Catwoman. Zoe Kravitz, I'm gonna put her on... Hey, what happened to my valuables? Yeah, I did like this Catwoman overall, but I'll admit she is flawed. I rewatched The Batman, and I did notice some scratches on my second viewing. Basically, this is a more faithful comic adaptation of Catwoman. This is basically if the Gotham Selina grew up, but without Bruce Wayne as her best friend. Selina is a homeless call girl. They are alluding to her sex worker history. Yeah, some versions of Selina used to be a prostitute / sex worker, which explains her skills with a whip. Yes, really. Thank you, Frank Miller. But basically, yeah, she's kind of a call girl / waitress at the Penguin's Iceberg Lounge nightclub. She's trying to find out what happened to her quote-unquote best friend / possible lover. Basically a knockoff Holly Robinson character. Her best friend went missing in Gotham, and she's trying to find her, and she believes the Penguin and Don Carmine Falcone are attached to her, and unfortunately she crosses paths with Robert Pattinson's Batman. Like I want to see Christina V as Cheetah, since I want to hear her as Veronica Mayday voice. Okay. Yeah, that could be a good casting. Christina V could definitely be a good Cheetah or Catwoman. But for some reason, idiots aren't casting her. Thank David Zaslav for that, Akira. Anyways, Zoe Kravitz Catwoman, I actually did like, because she does feel like the comic character. She looks like the comic character. I do wish her costume was a lot better. Her Catwoman outfit is basically a prototype cat suit. She's kind of wearing like a biker jumpsuit and a burglar mask shaped like a cat. I know that technically should fit the billing for Catwoman, but it's not her official suit. It's like her prototype suit. She teams up with Robert Pattinson, Batman, and they get into sexy adventures together. She slowly falls in love with the Dark Knight, or Vengeance, as she teases him. Basically, they find out more about each other, but Selina is not the good girl she is yet. There is good in her. She does prove herself to the Dark Knight. She does have trust issues with him. He appropriately has trust issues with her too, because again, this is their first time meeting. So what kicked her off of perfect is there is one line I absolutely hate from her, and if you watch The Batman, you know exactly what line I'm talking about. The weirdly out of nowhere racist preachy line. Yeah, Catwoman basically says something super racist in this, and it is very out of character and doesn't even make sense even within the context of this movie. I don't like the headpiece in Kravitz's Catwoman, and Bruce finds out that she's Catwoman in less than 5 seconds. Well, again, Selina's a newbie cat burglar in this. She's not the pro we know and love yet, which, yeah, definitely a creative choice, but I did kind of grow attached to it. Well, at least she's Lady Noir in Miraculous. Like, this is the only Catwoman from a non-DC franchise. Yeah, if you're grasping for straws, we'll count Lady Noir as Christina V's Catwoman. But yeah, anyways, Zoe Kravitz, yeah, she says a very racist line, and I did not like that. She did make my top 10 favorite Catwomen. Understandable, because honestly, some of these are a bit more scattershot, and I did kind of count them all under the same actress. That was kind of the thing, like, Grey DeLisle has so many great Catwoman interpretations, but I counted Grey DeLisle as one whole Catwoman, basically showing off all the versions I did like from her portrayal. But yeah, Zoe Kravitz, she did make the list, so there was good in her. Basically, Catwoman has a redemption arc where she goes back. She's about to flee Gotham when the Riddler is about to bomb it and flood the entire city. She has a change of heart, goes back and helps save Batman, and they defeat Riddler's Reddit followers. They formed like a flash mob or something, and were going to start a mass shooting at a safety zone. And basically, Catwoman and Batman kick ass. They beat the Riddler Reddit followers, and they save the day and basically go their separate ways. They have their big damn kiss to show you that there's hope for their romance, and I'm very certain we'll see Zoe Kravitz in The Batman 2. Still guessing who the villain in that sequel is gonna be. Everyone's betting it's gonna be Mr. Freeze or the Court of Owls. I hope it's the Court of Owls, but I'm hoping we get Hush in the sequel, because it would make more sense, because Hush is another grounded villain, and Hush and Catwoman do have a history together if you're familiar with his story, and I could definitely see Zoe Kravitz returning for the Hush story / the Heart of Hush story. If you know, you know. But yeah, I did like Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. I will defend that she did a good job, minus her racism and a few scratches, so I'll put her on, hey, what happened to my valuables? Let's do DC Superheroes Catwoman. I hope we get Lady Clayface. Okay. Alright, you want DC Superheroes Catwoman? We'll talk about the 2016 DC Superheroes Catwoman. There are 2 DC Superhero Girl shows, so we do have to get the first one out of the way first. So, let's talk about the high school Catwoman, who, honestly, I'll put on Who's a Good Kitty. Yeah, this Catwoman, voiced by Lynn Loud from The Loud House, the prankster girl, who surprisingly did a pretty good Catwoman voice. This is basically troublemaker, the troublemaker, badass, cool girl in class Catwoman. If you don't know, there are 2 DC Superhero Girl shows, one by Lauren Faust and one by Mattel, a toy company, to sell high school versions of the DC hero girls and some guys. Basically, all the characters of DC are attending a superhero sky-high academy run by Principal Amanda Waller, and of course Catwoman is one of the characters here. The 2016 version is better Catwoman, that is cool. Well, I do like how she looks, because she looks like Catwoman in this, compared to the Eartha Kitt / Halle Berry Catwoman we got later. So I did like her design here. Also, James Gunn is making Starfire cartoon series. Oh, that would be cool. I hope they do her justice. Get Hinton Walsh back as Starfire. If not, Kari Wahlgren. Kari Wahlgren's a sexy Starfire, too. Fun fact, Zoe Kravitz chose to get into the mindset of a cat by drinking milk like a cat while preparing for the role. Method acting is crazy. Oh, Bodhi, you made it. Don't worry, Bodhi, we talked about most of the Adam West era. Zoe Kravitz made it on What Happened to My Valuables. That's good. This one, definitely a fun Catwoman. We're talking about DC Superhero Girls, the 2016 school Catwoman. Basically, she's in high school, so not too much sex appeal or femme fatale. This Catwoman is more mischievous. She's a troublemaker. She's the bad girl. She's the cool one, the loner. Basically, they give her like a more motorcycle-looking outfit, kind of child-friendly version of her Arkham City look. You know, just zip up her cleavage all the way. That's all they did. Basically a high schooler Catwoman. She did have several fun stories. I remember she steals artifacts and gets a talking to when the girls have to help her fix her screw up. I did actually have fun with this Catwoman. The problem is, she's not a huge character. She's kind of a reoccurring character and usually in the background. We see the Selina in a lot of background shots or group shots. She gets some spotlight episodes in the web series, but weirdly, she's not a main character in this. They gave Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy a lot more spotlight than this Catwoman, which is why she doesn't make it up too highly. Basically, a lack of screen time. But, you know, I thought she was good. She was fun. She was definitely a fun, kid-friendly Catwoman, so I'll put her on Who's a Good Kitty. Yeah, Gotham Selina, I agree with. Great interpretation of her origins. Love Cameron Bicondova's Catwoman from Gotham. She's up here next to Julie Newmar. No, I do not want to have sex with her, so get your mind out of the gutter. Julie Newmar is the one I want to have sex with because she's legal. Also, 26, Catwoman being disliked being caught, dogs, water. Yeah, she took the Catwoman personality very literally. This is one of the Catwoman who literally acts like a cat, which is usually hot, but for the child-friendly shows, it's comedic, which, yeah, did get a laugh out of me. Gothic Catwoman, cute girl. And Gunn has said that the cartoons are supposed to be adjacent to, at least to the live-action projects, so keep that going in mind. Yeah, more cinematic universe stuff, that'll be easy to follow. So anyways, yeah, this one's good. So let's talk about the other superhero girl's Catwoman, Cree Summers' Catwoman from the Lauren Faust Supergirl show. This is the 2020 version. The short-lived shorts about the girls, they're in high school again, but this time they're trying to blend in with normal high school while being superheroes on the side in kind of a spiritual successor to Powerpuff Girls. And of course, Catwoman is one of the villain girls, voiced by Cree Summer, who I will put on, hey, what happened to my valuables? Yeah, she's going over Eartha Kitt, but under Zoe Kravitz. So I just need some water. Yeah, Christina Pucelli, that is her name. Cree Summer sounds like Eartha Kitt. Yeah, basically, Cree Summer does an Eartha Kitt impression, and I do love how this Catwoman's civilian identity looks like Halle Berry. Yeah, they drew her like Halle Berry without the mask on. She looks like Halle Berry, has the famous bob cut, has her pretty face. However, she has Eartha Kitt's persona, and she talks like Eartha Kitt with the sensual cat voice rolling her R's. I actually really dug this Catwoman because they did keep her like Catwoman and made her a lot more accurate than the last Supergirl show did, where she was kind of an playful, ditzy anti-hero. This version of Catwoman, super smart. She is the brains of her girl posse. This Catwoman, once again, more of a bad girl, the cool outcast, the loner. She forms a girl posse with all the villain girls. She recruits Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Livewire, Giganta, and Yandere Star Sapphire, forming the villain girls. Loved her episode where she's basically outsmarting Supergirl, playing her for a complete chump. Supergirl is kind of a dumb Rainbow Dash type of character, thinking with her fists and being easily duped by the non-powered Catwoman in her museum robbery. Catwoman nearly succeeds, but Supergirl learns a lesson about teamwork and they foil her robbery, but she gets away, where she forms the villain girls. Catwoman gets another spotlight episode where she hires herself out. This Catwoman finally gets her job as a pro thief slash merc, where she works for Will Friedel's Lex Luthor and helps him steal like a doomsday device and trap the hero girls, only for us to finally see that she does have a conscience and she thinks Lex Luthor is crazy and she helps spring the Supergirls by herself, showing that there's good in Catwoman, but this Catwoman does not like being seen as good. It is embarrassing to her. It hurts her image as the cool girl. And I did like her cat fight with the cheetah. That's my favorite short. Yeah, Cree Summer sounds like Eartha Kitt. Like DC Superhero Girls, Catwoman fought Cheetah. Yeah, that one. With is just Chloe from Miraculous. Yeah, Cheetah is the vain popular girl. Selina is the bad, mean popular girl, the gangster girl. I love her petty cat fights with the Cheetah in this. There's a short where they both fight over like the same purse. Really liked it, and their ultimate enemy was both themselves because they lose the purse to Zatanna. Yeah, Zatanna is easily my favorite superhero girl in the show, but Catwoman's my favorite super villain girl in the show. I think Cree Summer did a very good job. Unfortunately, the show was short-lived. It was basically a bunch of shorts, and not all characters got spotlight. Catwoman had like only a handful of episodes where she was actually important. She's usually the leader of the villain girl posse, but she got like 3 character development episodes. I think she did pretty good. I'll put this version on Hey, What Happened to My Valuables, because she was definitely a passable Catwoman. She also did make it on my top 10 best Catwoman list as an honorable mention, so I did have fond memories of her. I'll definitely put her on the good. A Catwoman tier list, perfect. Hey, Shadowlink, glad you made it. Like, Cheetah is red-haired, not blonde. Yeah, they kind of made Cheetah more like Priscilla Rich personality-wise in the cartoon, but she had Barbara Ann Minerva's name and her Cheetah form. That was kind of the deal breaker. I guess they wanted to combine them. Like, it's a shame DC Superhero Girls remake didn't get Black Canary for Green Arrow. Yeah, weirdly, DC Supergirls did not have Black Canary at all in either of these shows. Black Canary is not here. She had like a cameo in the first one. She's non-existent in the Lauren Faust one, which is weird because Black Canary was a kick-ass Supergirl, so you'd think she'd be among the hero roster. But nope, I guess she was too sexualized because God forbid women be pretty in high school. But yeah, this one version's good. Alright, so who to do next? We got a whole bunch. I guess we should talk about the DC animated universe Adrienne Barbeau's Catwoman. The one that made Catwoman cool again. Adrienne Barbeau's Batman the Animated Series Catwoman going on to perfect. Yep, Adrienne Barbeau rocks the role. She is hot. She's hot in real life, and she's got a smooth, sensual, sultry Catwoman voice. They did take creative liberties with this Catwoman's backstory, but overall, yeah, she's a total bombshell. Way hotter than Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn. This is the classic cat burglar Catwoman. She is a professional thief, however, she is stealing stuff for herself rather than for other people and herself. Hey, Shadowlink, glad you made it. Nice to see Julie Newmar and Cameron Bicondova, top tier. Yeah, we just went over the Gotham one not long ago. Julie Newmar's a classic, they're all on perfect. Catzilla are ones I don't recognize, so don't worry if you love the 70s cartoon versions. We haven't had a bad kitty yet, but we will. As she should be, Adrienne Barbeau was fantastic. Fully agree. Oh, you want Shanghai Catwoman next. Alright, we'll do that one after Barbeau. As she should be. Yep. Wonder Woman 84 basically turned Cheetah into a female version of Jim Carrey's The Riddler. Personality-wise, they did, but Jim Carrey's outfit looked better. Like the jacket, it keeps me safe when I'm jogging at night. Yeah, say what you will about Batman Forever, but it is comedy gold. I love Batman Forever. Loved it more than Wonder Woman 84 because it didn't put me to sleep. Like, why she has a silver outfit. I think the idea is it's supposed to be kind of a ninja suit. Like, Catwoman's wearing kind of a silver/black suit. They had to make it look a bit lighter because I guess it blended in with their night shots. Batman is always fighting at night, and Catwoman commits burglaries at night, so I guess making her too black would have been very weird because she disappeared to the background. But yeah, Adrienne Barbeau's Catwoman, she is a classic. Love her playful relationship with both Batman and Bruce. Unlike most of Batman's villains, this is the first Catwoman we actually see the morally gray side to. We see Selina does have a heroic side. She is not an anti-hero, but more of an anti-villain. She's still breaking the law, she's doing bad things, she is stealing treasures for herself. However, we do see she's an animal rights activist, she does defend the little guy, she is protesting, she is robbing basically rich people who deserve it too. She runs afoul of terrorists led by Catherine Janeway as a Russian terrorist. Batman helps her. However, once they work together, team up, Catwoman shows she has feelings for Batman, and Batman struggles with his moral compass briefly because you know, it's Catwoman. She's hot. She's like the first woman he actually has chemistry with. He falls in love with her. However, in an interesting turn, this Catwoman is actually arrested in her debut two-parter. Batman arrests Catwoman and exposes Selina Kyle as the supervillain. And Selina basically kind of undergoes a quasi-redemption arc / deciding if she wants to still be a hero or a villain. I like she does her robberies with her cat. Yeah, they introduce Isis, the iconic cat. No, she's not named after Isis the terrorist. She's named after Isis the Egyptian god because cats. Alright, read that one. Adrienne Barbeau was in the Creepshow movie. Yeah, she was the gold digger bitch. And she was Simone from Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, going from playing a Catwoman to a literal were-Catwoman. Yeah, I love that she does her robberies with Isis. She just decided to stop by and say hi for a moment. Hi, just some random guy. Also, Adrienne Barbeau was in the Twilight Zone episode Teacher's Aide. And Lieutenant Beth O'Brien in my mom's favorite TV show, Ultraman. So yeah, Catwoman actually gets her identity exposed, and Selina is sort of on probation. They release her for good behavior because Catwoman has a lot more moral high ground than Batman's usual villains. Selina does not get sent to Arkham Asylum because she's actually sane, and she does have good in her. She gets kind of like monitored by police. She's on probation. She has to report to like a parole officer. She has to give up her Catwoman mantle. However, if you know Selina, she can't give it up. She likes doing good. Catwoman is a key part of her personality. She usually helps Batman on cases. She sometimes does good as Catwoman. She's sometimes roped into things against her will. There is a brief moment where she became a prototype cheetah. And yeah, I did like that episode, Tiger Tiger. My only problem is Selina is weirdly kind of a useless damsel distress in that version. Yeah, like Catwoman, friggin' Catwoman gets the cheetah powers and she never kicks ass with them. She is kind of a damsel in distress and basically just looks hot. She's basically fought over by Tiger and Batman. She looks like a really cool cheetah. Preferred the cheetah from Justice League Unlimited. She was way hotter. I did like that cheetah more than Barbeau's Catwoman. Not Grey DeLisle's Catwoman, don't worry there. Sad, didn't notice my comment about Arkham Knight. Did it come up? I might have missed it. I'm sorry. Definitely liked her design more in the original Batman animated series, of course. The new Batman Adventures design, we all know, had their bizarre changes. Oh, good news, Shadowlink. That design's on here, too. Sexy Felix the Cat, Adrienne Barbeau. But anyways, good one. Ultimately, Catwoman decides she likes being a villain. She breaks up with Batman for good. However, they definitely have unresolved sexual tension and occasionally kiss from time to time, but sadly, DCAU Batman and Catwoman never hooked up in the end. She was the lost Lenore, his lost flame, the relationship he wished they had but never happened, and Catwoman sticks to evil and disappears in her last episode. Speaking of which, we do have to talk about Barbeau's other one, Sexy Felix the Cat Catwoman. This one going on to, well, she'll do. Yeah, I know, this might surprise people. She's not rock bottom bad kitty. But, yeah, this design was weird. They made Catwoman's body look good except for her face. Like, Selina has a massively different look in this show. If you don't know, the final season of Batman the Animated Series had a whole new art design. Got redesigns, got new character designs, got the infamous Joker with black eyes look that nobody liked, and one of the characters I think was kind of tarnished the most was Catwoman, because they made her look like a sexy Felix the Cat. For some reason, Selina completely powders her face with ghost white makeup, and her eyes completely disappear under the mask. It looks like a warped version of her original look. They at least made her outfit black. Catwoman looks like a sexy ninja, I think what they were going for, but weirdly, she looks hotter without the mask on, I will say that. Selina's redesign actually looked more comic accurate in her civilian identity, but her Catwoman look, Oh boy. Yeah, just look before you. This was a weird change. Yeah, hate the redesign of the animated series Catwoman. Yeah, she definitely suffered the most, just as bad as I think the Joker suffered, where the Joker had his Animaniacs face. Here, Catwoman had a more cartoony look to her. Like blonde, red hair, or black hair Catwoman. I prefer black hair Selina because it kind of matches her outfit and look. Reading some comments. Okay. Yeah, she was Sif in Ultimate Alliance. Good to know. And Dr. Tilson in Halo 4. Hate the redesign of the animated series Catwoman. I'm too late. Well, here's my input. The original Catwoman from the 60s is better. Eartha Kitt's appearance is second best, and Cree Summers' Catwoman is a tribute to Eartha Kitt Catwoman. Yeah, we did just go over that one. I thought she was pretty good. Not one of the perfect ones, but she was an honorable mention on my list, so I did like her. We're on sexy redesign Catwoman. She actually looked good as a civilian. They made her look a lot like her comic version outside of the outfit. With the outfit, yeah, a bit more sketchy. I actually do like Catwoman's episodes in this, so it is kind of a double-edged sword, a give and take. I did like Catwoman's episodes in the revived animated series. Loved how she had a relationship with Nightwing. She tried to seduce Nightwing, work together as a partner. However, because it's Catwoman, she was of course using him, and I do love that there's a brief stint of Bruce and Barbara getting jealous because Dick is having romantic chemistry with Catwoman. He's actually into her. Kind of weird when you consider how their ages might be, because she's supposed to be Bruce's age, but, you know, they're adults, whatever. Don't get me wrong, it's not terrible as many other weird design changes. The new Batman adventure is just bizarre. I will defend Shadowlink. The Scarecrow's redesign, epic. Bossa Nova, they made Dr. Crane much scarier in the redesign era than his goofy Wizard of Oz Scarecrow look. I never understood why they made Catwoman have a pale skin. Yeah, me neither. She looks like a ghost with that on her, not gonna lie. She has like pale skin. I guess it's to hide her identity, but doesn't the whole world know Selina Kyle is Catwoman? Whatever. Like maybe she's trying to be a tuxedo cat. I can definitely see that. But honestly, the makeup on her face is what looked weird. They don't redesign Harley Quinn in the animated series. She was saved. Yeah, that's because she was Bruce Timm and Paul Dini's baby. They loved her. Poison Ivy also looked a lot better in the redesign, mostly because they made her look green. I'm sorry, Bodhi, if you're still here, but I did like the reboot Poison Ivy, where she actually has green skin. Like, maybe Catwoman design is based on cat-themed. Well, of course it's based on cat-themed. Also, I can see why you added the 60s Catwoman in the Catzilla part, as the black hair one doesn't even look like a cat, but rather a mask. Yeah, these two, I do not know. Catzilla, if you don't know, or Catwomen, I don't have any familiarity with. Basically, these are never saw them and have the weirdest designs, so these are basically the ones I don't know. The bad kitty, this is the bad one. We haven't had a bad one yet, but considering Halle Berry's still on this list, just you wait. Like, it's a shame Starfire wasn't there when Nightwing was in love with Catwoman. Well, they imply DCAU and Teen Titans are adjacent to each other. I remember a Static Shock episode where he meets Batman and he asks, "Yo, where's Robin?" "With the Titans." "With who?" "You'll meet him someday." Yeah, Teen Titans was kind of implied to be adjacent to the DCAU, but never explored that. Absolutely, Scarecrow was great as a redesign. Shame he was only in like 2 episodes. Yeah, loved the Leatherface looking Scarecrow. That guy looked cool. And Jeff Bennett had a very scary voice. Really enjoyed him. No, it wasn't Jeff Bennett. It was Jeffrey Combs. Yeah, Ratchet was the Scarecrow. Jeffrey Combs had a creepy voice. Hope he plays the Scarecrow again while he's still alive. Anyways, yeah, redesigned Catwoman. I actually like her episodes. Her second one, Cult of the Cat, definitely won her points from me, even though I did have to deal with her design. Basically, Catwoman robs from Catman's cult, and because she's dressed like a cat, acts like a cat, and loves cats, the cult kind of recruits her, albeit watching her, because she did try to steal from them. She plays both sides. She pretends she's into Catman and pretends she's into Bruce Wayne. The cult leader is named Thomas Blake. If you don't know, that's Catman from the comics. Yeah, there was a Catman who was not Adam West. He basically has a crush on Selina because she fits right into the cult and it plays up her sexy cat attitude very well. Ultimately, of course, Catwoman decides to help Batman, proves she's good, and just when you think you can trust her, she ends up robbing the entire cult of half their valuables and running away to France, which is the last time we ever see DCAU Catwoman. Unless you count the Gotham Girls web series, which I don't. Wait, Starfire, Batgirl, and Selina? Nightwing, you dog. And he also had Zatanna, if you watch Young Justice. Also for Catzilla, I'm here to say it, but we all know that the Halle Berry one should be there above the 60s one, so prepare for all the backlash from this comment. Sometimes I wonder if Batman 66 created Louis the Lilac because they ran out of sexy 60s ladies to play Poison Ivy. Yeah, weirdly, Poison Ivy, I don't think Poison Ivy existed yet. Adam West Batman came out in the 60s. Poison Ivy was made in the early 70s. So it might have been a case where this character didn't exist yet, which is why we didn't see Poison Ivy actually used on Adam West's show. Yeah, Jeffrey Combs, he also voiced the Rat King from TMNT 2012. Must have added Scarecrow's creepiness factor in that role as well, because he was great as the Rat King too. Yeah, that show actually made the Rat King scary. Like, is there going to be a red catsuit version of Catwoman as Valentine's Day outfit? Probably. You mentioned Catman, and when I hear about this, all I can think is, yeah, Adam West Catman from Fairly Odd Parents, and I couldn't believe that he was a real character. Yeah, also Thomas Wilson, Biff Tannen voiced him on Batman Brave and the Bold. Yeah, Catman is a real DC character. He isn't just Adam West from the Fairly Odd Parents. There actually is a Catman. He's basically kind of a simp for Catwoman. He has his own cat-themed kind of moniker. He joined the Suicide Squad, and he was played by Thomas F. Wilson, Biff Tannen in Brave and the Bold. They did get a guest star play him on the Batman the Animated Series, but I don't remember his name. So anyways, yeah, this Selina, we'll put her on She'll Do. She did her job, and I did like the writing behind her, but that design, yeesh. Okay, so somebody wanted the Shanghai Catwoman. Okay, so some people might not recognize this Catwoman. For those of you who don't remember, there was an era known as DC Nation. It was back when Cartoon Network was cool and had cool DC shows like Young Justice, Green Lantern the Animated Series, and Beware the Batman. And unfortunately, Teen Titans Go was also there. So DC created a whole bunch of, like, mini shorts. There were, like, a bunch of shorts that played in between commercials. Sometimes these shorts acted as story arcs, and there was one where Batman, Catwoman, and Bane were in ancient China, like the past in an old Chinese type of village, and this Catwoman is basically introduced in the first short, trying to steal, like, I believe it was a sacred scroll that Bane and Batman are also after. Like how DC didn't use Fairly Odd Parents for the Catman design. Yeah, that would have been funny. DC Nation also gave us pre-DC superhero girls. Yeah, the SPBFs. The Super BFFs. Yeah, I remember that. So, some people might not remember. There was one that took place in, like, feudal China. Basically, Catwoman shows up pretending to be, like, this servant maiden. However, she reveals she's a cat burglar. I believe voiced by Stephanie Sheh. She has, like, a few snippets of dialogue, but nothing like full-blown lines or quotes you'll be talking about. She has a Chinese cat kind of look. She tries to swipe the scroll, she fights ninjas, then eventually she crosses paths with Chinese Batman and Bane, and they have like this epic martial arts kind of fight. We see like symbolism where they take on their spirit animal forms. She becomes a cat, Batman becomes a bat, and Bane becomes a bear, which is a bit weird, but I guess kind of makes sense. And Catwoman basically fights and has some flirty moments with Batman, but ultimately Batman takes the scroll and flies off into the night. So, unfortunately, she didn't get to do much, so she won't make it to top tier, but I will put her on Who's a Good Kitty. Yeah, Chinese Catwoman, she was pretty cool. Loved her weird design. First Catwoman I've ever seen with a white cat outfit. It did look very weird, but it fit this anime-ish type of style. It looked like an anime. They moved kind of like how ancient Chinese scroll drawings move. It was a pretty fun DC Nation short. I would actually recommend watching it. They're kind of like 3 minutes long, so it's alright if you check it out. Like, together they're 3 minutes long. They were like a minute each. Stephanie Sheh, I wish she played Catwoman more because she had her moments, and basically, this is kind of a martial artist Catwoman. She breaks in, tries to steal stuff, runs afoul of Batman, a few flirty remarks, and ultimately Batman kicks her and Bane's ass and takes the scroll before flying off into the night. Short but sweet, so she'll go on Who's a Good Kitty. Speaking of, I see you had Catwoman from the 2015 DC Superhero Girls one, and her costume is just cat ears and no mask. Yeah, the student Catwoman. I thought she was pretty fine, just not in the spotlight long enough. I think she's based on Lucky Cat in Asian myth. Also, red and white outfit. Okay, that is red. I thought it was pink. Okay, I thought it was white and pink, but because those are girl colors. But yeah, liked her outfit. Honestly, she looked pretty cool. Unfortunately, she just doesn't have much screen time, which is why she won't make it to top tier. But she's a good kitty. Okay, gonna use the restroom, so feel free to vote on which Catwoman you'd like to see next. Arkham City, The Injustice, Halle Berry, you guys decide. BRB. Okay, Kitty's back on the prowl. What do you guys vote for? Japanese Catwoman. Didn't we do that? Oh, you're talking about Batman Ninja Catwoman. Okay. Arkham vs. Catwoman, Batman Ninja, Michelle Pfeiffer, the Lego Catwoman. Okay, a lot of great choices. Alright. We'll talk about Arkham vs. Catwoman first because it is Grades Aleal's first time voicing Catwoman. Then we'll talk about her ninja one. Alright, so let's do it. Arkham City Catwoman. Going on to perfect. This might be number one, honestly. Arkham City Catwoman. She is perfect. Love her. Love her attitude. Love Grades Aleal's voice. Love how hot they made her. Love how kick-ass she is. The only thing she sucks at is stealth mode, but yeah, I really love this Catwoman. Arkhamverse captured all of Batman's characters perfectly. Some exceptions like Black Mask, but yeah, this Catwoman, she is great. She is pawsome. She is definitely the hottest video game character I've ever seen. This Catwoman, definitely one of my biggest waifu crushes ever. It was great to play as Catwoman in Arkham City. I love how you got to play as her. Yeah, loved her trailers too. Save the best for last, which is clearly Arkham. I got other best ones I can save, but yeah, I do have to talk about this one because it's Grey DeLisle's first time playing Catwoman, and yeah, she absolutely nailed the role. She knocked it out of the park. Grey DeLisle is a definitive Catwoman voice. We already knew she was a great voice actress, but this one definitely showed she can play sexy characters, that's for certain. Love her attitude. This Catwoman's a lot more snarky, a lot more kick-ass, very sensual. She plays up the femme fatale role perfectly. This Catwoman basically is hot and she knows it. She kicks ass. If you don't know, in Arkham City, Catwoman's doing what else? Trying to pull a heist. She wants to rob Hugo Strange's Arkham prison vault because it has every valuable from every supervillain ever in it. Basically, Selina got locked up in Arkham City trying to, I believe in the comic it's explained, she tried to rob it the first time only to epic fail, but she's basically pulling an easy prison break because Catwoman is too badass to be caged. Yeah, sorry, we are doing Arkham City Catwoman first. I'll save the other two Arkham versions for later, but yeah. Love that you get to play at her. Yeah, great to play as her in Arkham City. She's very nimble, very fast. If you're a gamer and wondering, she's a fast character. She can move very fast. She can punch from a distance. She can really jump. Love her cat pounce attacks. Love her whip. Love her caltrops. Love the bolas, basically. And love Grey DeLisle's performance especially. She's pretty much seducing the gamer. Very sexy. Best cat for me. Fully agree, Bodhi. This girl might be number one. Arkham City Catwoman is perfection. Feel like Grey DeLisle feels like her roles. Catwoman starts with Daphne Blake. Trust as Catwoman in the final What's New Scooby-Doo. Probably did. Batman, my face is up here. Love that. Yeah, she's even taunting Hugo Strange. Basically, Catwoman's locked in Arkham City. She forms a deadly alliance with Poison Ivy. If you don't know, it's an allusion to the Gotham City Sirens. All of Batman's female villains formed a girl posse. She teams up with Poison Ivy. No kiss? I'm kinda disappointed. Yeah, loved her interactions with Ivy, having both the hot girls together on the screen. She teams up with Poison Ivy, and basically they both agree to pull the heist and rob Hugo Strange's vault because Poison Ivy has OP plant powers. Yeah, OP plant powers, which she helps use for Selina to break in through the wall. Selina goes in, you get this very intense stealth mission, then a kick-ass fight. She, of course, beats up the Tiger Guards, robs the place, and Selina has a moral choice where she has to drop her loot and go back and save Batman or leave. If you leave, it gets a game over. But I really love they went the extra mile to have an alternate credits scene. Yeah, I really wanted to talk about that. There's an alternate credit scene where if Catwoman leaves with her jewels and runs off, basically it dooms all of Gotham City and possibly the world. Grey ain't bad looking in real life either. Yeah, Grey DeLisle is super pretty in real life. They did infamously mocap her face onto Selina in Arkham Knight. We'll talk about that one, Bodhi, but yeah. Arkham City got Selina so right, in and out. Yeah, despite Catwoman's catty attitude, she does have a heart. Ultimately, she does care for Batman, and way hotter than Talia al Ghul. Yeah, I will die on that hill, and Talia al Ghul is so hot in Arkham City as well, but I will still pick Catwoman. She is the better girl because she actually goes back and saves Batman. Basically, during the mission, Batman's injured, debris crushes him. Catwoman ultimately drops her loot and saves Bruce, helps him out, and basically they have a flirty banter where Bruce goes off to stop Hugo Strange, and Catwoman gets an epilogue mission where you get to beat up Two-Face for revenge. Also, screw that Two-Face boss fight. I believe all of you agree that the Two-Face boss fight was irritating. Gray ain't bad looking in real life either. Yeah, she definitely isn't. Yeah, they got so much right with her. She scratched Two-Face, yeah. No gun harv. No gun harv. Shame. This is gonna hurt. 2 guns, bitch! And she got her revenge clawing the side of his face. Love this Selina. Arkham City, game of the year, great. It was a classic, and of course it had the hottest Catwoman ever, so much that it pissed off a lot of pearl-clutching Karens. So definitely love this Selina. She is perfect, and easily our #1 Catwoman. Grades of Leo's performances are all probably gonna go up here. Speaking of which, somebody wanted Batman Ninja. Let's do it. We'll do the anime CGI Catwoman. Batman Ninja Catwoman going on to perfect. Grey DeLeo plays Catwoman again in the English dub, and absolutely love her anime design. This was a very sexy anime Catwoman. She looks so hot, so adorable, so precious. This Catwoman, Grey DeLeo's a lot more playful as this version of Selina. If you don't know, there was an quote-unquote CGI anime Batman movie called Batman Ninja, where Batman and the entire Arkham Asylum facility are teleported back in time to feudal Japan, where Batman's villains try to take over Japan and have an epic ninja/samurai fight, where Catwoman was absorbed there too, and she becomes Bruce's ally. Roger Craig Smith plays Batman in this movie, and Grey DeLeo plays Catwoman, and you really dig her design. Really love the sexy anime-looking Catwoman. They did make her, honestly, more hot than Arkham City. They gave her her Chun-Li hair. Really enjoyed it. You remember, okay. Image, we get Black Cat versus Catwoman in Death Battle that I'd like to see in live action. Fully agree, but they probably won't do it because Death Battle doesn't want to get canceled, bro. Batman, I figured you could use my help, Selina. You're right. I think I chipped a nail back there. Funny. Yeah, and they have the romantic moment, or Selina showed up. I figured you could use my help. You're right. I think I chipped a nail back there. Stick with the brooding, and I'll stick with the wisecracks. Love their chemistry. Grey DeLeo and Kevin Conroy really knocked it out of the park. Almost hotter than Adrienne Barbeau's relationship with him. It's weird that Harley Sawyer from Poppy Playtime looks like Hugo Strange if he was a computer AI. There is a skin in Arkham Knight. Batman turned down sexy hotel time. Oh, Sin in Arkham Knight. Batman turned down sexy hotel time with her. Yeah, she knew some hotels. Loves he hooks up with Telltale's Catwoman. Nobody says no to Selina. Yeah, Selina's perfect. Love her. She's one of my DC crushes. Always has been. Like Catwoman's Japanese actress, Ai Kakuma. She played Chino in Naruto, Makoma, and Demon Slayer. Never heard those Japanese dubs. Yeah, basically, Catwoman and Batman's Bat family are in feudal Japan. They form their own ninja clan and train an army of ninja Batman, basically to take on all of Batman's supervillains who've become their own evil terrorist clans. I do believe Batman's villains are based off of, like, real mythical Japanese warlords and some real ones, too. Basically, Gorilla Grodd hatched this entire scheme. Yeah, Gorilla Grodd and the Joker are both the main villains of the movie. Basically, they formed a giant Megazord kaiju and have a giant death battle with Batman Ninja. Selina is definitely there on the side. They defeat him and save time, return back to present-day Gotham, and Selina reveals that she actually stole ancient Japanese cultural artifacts, basically, and is dealing them at a pawn shop, which is pretty hilarious, not gonna lie. Selina actually won out on the end, and she and Batman have a very solid romantic chemistry in this movie. Adore her design, she's really kick-ass. Grey DeLeo's in her A-game. And, of course, how could we forget the sexy cat fight with Harley Quinn? Time for some girl-on-girl action. That is actually a quote from the movie. Watch Batman Ninja, it is pretty good. Time for some girl-on-girl action. Oh, that Selina definitely earned her spot up here. She is going on to perfect, for sure. It's my impression of Selina and Harley seem young in Batman Ninja. Well, it's anime. All the women look hot. Unless they're like senior citizens, every woman ever looks very sexual. This Catwoman looks like she's a lot younger, but she is an adult woman. It's anime logic. What are you gonna do? Gorilla Grodd is based on a warlord that has a monkey face in real life. Okay. Also, Joker is Oda Nobunaga is peak. Yeah, Joker was really crazy in that. Tony Hale was really underrated as the Joker voice. Not gonna lie, it took a while for him to grow on me because, you know, he's no Mark Hamill, but yeah. Batman Ninja, it is a dumb movie, but a very fun kind of dumb. And Selina, definitely a perfect ninja warrior. Alright, so we should probably get the other Arkham versus Selina's out of the way. Let's do Arkham Origins Blackgate Selina, who I'll put on who's a good kitty. Yeah, I know, some people might argue she should be higher because it is just the Arkham vs. Selina. However, Arkham Origins Blackgate is not a good game. It is very hard. It is a clunky mess. The graphics are not good. It's a 2.5D handheld Arkham game. Basically, they tried to make the Arkham series go onto handheld devices. It's a lot easier on console, because of course it is. Catwoman is actually a twist villain in this. They got Grey DeLeo back. She plays Catwoman in all the Arkhamverse stuff. Catwoman pretends she's a newbie. She gets arrested by Batman, but she actually planned this from the start, and in a twist, Catwoman is actually the ultimate endgame villain. She's the twist villain. She pretends she's a dorky amateur supervillain in over her head. Roger Craig Smith Batman locks her up, but we find out she's actually working for Amanda Waller to get Bane for the Suicide Squad. No, it definitely isn't. Blackgate was definitely the weakest of the series. Yeah, basically, the game is kind of a mess. You can tell they rushed it out. It is not a complete game, and the controls are ass. I won't lie. The 2.5D gaming gets very irritating. I, of course, love Grey DeLeo as Catwoman. Selina is kind of there helping Batman. She pretends she's a good guy. They start their romantic relationship, or at least tease it. She flirts with Batman. She helps Batman regain control of Blackgate. Basically, it's like Arkham Asylum, but at Blackgate Prison. You're trying to regain control of Blackgate. All the supervillains from Arkham Origins are locked up here from the first console game. You fight a turf war against the Joker, the Penguin, and Black Mask, and your choices help determine the ending, basically. Basically, Catwoman is the final boss. She blinds Batman, and in a very cheap-ass boss fight, you have to basically counter her by using Bat Sense. Her boss fight is a cool idea, but gameplay-wise, it does not play well. Like Yugi's supposed to be the same age as everyone else, but he looks like he's 10. Yeah, anime age is very weird, my friend. Like, Poison Ivy as a warlord is a boss. Poison Ivy is very cool, so I think Bodhi might like her in Batman Ninja, but she doesn't get to do much. No, definitely isn't. Blackgate was definitely the weakest of the series. Yeah, we don't talk about Arkham Origins Blackgate in these parts. It is considered the bad Arkhamverse game, but don't worry, it got dethroned by Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Thank God Catwoman wasn't in that. I always find it interesting how in fandom, fans ship Batman and Catwoman. Well, because Catwoman's kind of a reflection, a parallel of Bruce. She's also somebody who was victimized by Gotham City before she took on a mantle of her own to basically fight back against it. Catwoman, however, struggles with her morals, and Bruce brings out a good in her. She has good in her. Catwoman evolves from a villainess to an anti-hero, and Catwoman in turn has an effect on Batman. He gets in tune with his emotions, finally feels happiness, and clicks with a woman who gets him. Basically, she and he are kind of two sides of the same coin. They both love each other very much, and she brings out a more heart and a feelings in Batman. He brings out good and altruism and compassion from her in turn, and they kind of prove that they're very healthy for each other. However, ultimately, they do have their fights, and Catwoman mostly chooses to stick to evil, and Batman is married to the job, causing their drama. Also, we have to wait for Batman Ninja versus Yakuza Leagues if we get Catwoman new design. I hope they keep her design, love that one. Like, why Catwoman have green and red? Like, she has red lenses in her goggles. Okay. Yeah, she has... I believe the goggles were a part of her comic version. They gave her red because they're actually part technology. They, like, help her on her thief jobs, which is why they're always glowing red. I believe there's, like, a computer built into them, depending on the version you have. But yeah, Arkham Origins, she's the final boss. She fights and loses to Batman, but ultimately Amanda Waller gets away and she recruits like Bronze Tiger and Deadshot for her Suicide Squad. Catwoman is defeated, but she starts something of a relationship with Batman, and yeah, Arkham Origins, Blackgate, not very good. I would stick to the original Arkham Origins. That one is the underrated title, but I really wish Selina was actually in the console Arkham Origins rather than have her in the handheld game, which was a very mediocre mess. Oh, rip to Michelle Trachtenberg. She was found dead in her apartment. Oh, no. Michelle Trachtenberg. I remember her from Euro Trip. Yeah. Man, rest in peace. Also, Catgirl has less screen time. Yeah, she did. Like, what with the prison from DC is different from Arkham, Blackgate, and Belle Rev? Well, Belle Rev can actually control its supervillains. Arkham is a cardboard prison. In the future, you were going to make a Poison Ivy tier? Are there enough Poison Ivies is my question. Might, but we'll see. Anyways, Arkham Origins Blackgate, she's on a good kitty because Grey DeLisle did a good job, but unfortunately, she was held back by a crappy game. Alright, we're making pretty good leeway. So let's end... Should we end the Arkhamverse Catwoman with Arkham Knight Catwoman? Or would you rather save her for last? Because I don't mind. I'll do someone else in the meantime. Let's, talk about Batwheels Catwoman. Batwheels. Yeah, I've never watched it. Yeah, she's going on Catzilla. These are the Catwomen I don't recognize. Never watched Batwheels in my life because Batwheels is for kindergartners. It's a child-friendly DC show. Batwheels, if you don't know, is about their talking transformer vehicles. The vehicles of DC are all alive and have sentience and get into kid-friendly adventures, learning friendship morals and all that, and Catwoman does appear in it. They made her black again, and honestly, my problem is she doesn't really look like Catwoman. Not because of her race, but because of her outfit. She has like the weird Ghostbusters 2016 looking jumpsuit in black and cat ears, and that's really it. Her Catwoman outfit looks generic, but never actually watched the show. Batwheels, yeah, Shadowlink. Batwheels is the child-friendly kindergarten DC show on right now. I believe Cartoon Network airs it early in the morning, and it has appeared on HBO Max. It's basically the DC vehicles are alive, like Batman's Batmobile, the Batcopter, Batgirl's Batcycle, and they're fighting the villain vehicles, like Catwoman's evil bicycle, her motorcycle, the Joker's ice cream truck, the Penguin's flying machines, all that type of stuff. It's kind of like Bob the Builder / Transformers, but for really little kids, like a Rescue Bots kind of series. Yeah, I've never even heard of it. Yeah, some of Batman's characters appear. Damian Wayne is black now for some reason too. Batman is still white, which is kind of weird. I guess Talia gave him the black side, and Catwoman is in this show, but she's really a non-character. Batman's villains appear, her motorcycle is really the real main villain, so yeah, never watched Batwheels, I am aware of it, and Catwoman is in it, so we'll just address this now. I'm putting her on Catzilla because I don't recognize her. Poison Ivy tier list, maybe. We'll think about it. I know Bodhi will love that. There is not another ship for Batman. Talia is toxic backstabber. Totally agree. Talia al Ghul sucks. She's hot, but she's a total daddy's girl. Vicky Vale can't do the double life of Bruce. Yeah, Batman Returns made fun of that. Hey, you let her in the Batcave. Hey, Vic, come on in. Batwheels, yeah. Is the 2000s Birds of Prey Catwoman on here? Yes, she is. She's right here next to Catwoman Hunted and Year One Catwoman. I know it's hard to tell. It's not a very good picture. Birds of Prey Catwoman going on Bad Kitty. Yep, our first Catwoman, and if you don't know, there was a TV show called Birds of Prey. It is not based on the emancipation of one Harley Quinn movie. It was a 2000 show which tried to make the Birds of Prey a kick-ass girl power show. Dina Meyer plays Oracle. We meet Black Canary, meet the Huntress, who's Helena Wayne, and Catwoman has a cameo in this show. They tried to make her look like Michelle Pfeiffer. This is not Michelle Pfeiffer. She is down here, if you could see. Basically, Catwoman has a cameo where she's apparently a metahuman, and allegedly she died. We believe she was killed, but there were some hints that she might have been still alive, and did not like the choices that Birds of Prey show made for her. Also, I remember she played by Velma from the Scooby movie. Oh, you mean Linda Cardellini. Yeah, I've never even heard of it. Yeah, Batwheel's never heard of it. Like, it feels like Teen Titans Go to the movies predicted the Batmobile have a series. Well, it did. Teen Titans Go was actually on the money with that one. Batwheels has a show about their cars. It's about their bat vehicles, the Batcopter, the Batmobile, Batgirl's Batcycle, all of them. They're fighting like the villains' vehicles, and the villains sometimes sporadically appear in the series, and Catwoman, kind of a non-character, but never really fully watched Batwheels all the way. It's not for me, it's a kindergarten show. More like DC tries to make Pixar cars. Yeah, that is what it sounded like. Also, Catwoman has a cat car named Kitty. It should have been the Cadillac. Wolf Entertainment, that is Duke Thomas Robin, not Damian Wayne. Oh, okay. Well, still a very weird choice. I heard about that series. There's an episode where we meet the first Batmobile, and it was voiced by Adam West, but it was stock footage. Well, of course it is. Adam West has been dead for like almost 8 years now. Never even saw it. The Huntress's mother. Okay, yeah. Catwoman is sometimes the mother of Helena Wayne, and this is apparently the Huntress's mom, Catwoman. She allegedly died off screen, but we never actually get confirmation, so I do believe they were going to bring her back. She has like basically a cameo in the one and only short-lived season where she barely did anything, and I did not like her design or that she was a metahuman. I can't see Birds of Prey's physics. Physically, yeah. Hey, I loved the Huntress and Harley Quinn movie, don't care. Oh, you're talking about the emancipation of one Harley Quinn? Yeah, I hated that one. I heard about the series. They got Mark Hamill, the Joker, but it was only voice work. I mean, he did appear in the Joker makeup, but it was kind of obscured. Mark Hamill has a cameo as the Joker in the Birds of Prey show. Love that they actually got him in live action. However, he's kept in the shadows, so you don't fully see him. But it was a cool moment, and definitely one of the highlights of Birds of Prey, the TV show. There is a Birds of Prey TV show, and this Catwoman, kind of a letdown. Suggestion for Goosebumps Gallery, my hairiest adventure. Maybe one day, Glitchy Yoshi. Maybe one day. Hairiest adventure is already reviewed. No, that was Bad Hair Day. Yeah, there are two hairy Goosebumps episodes. Bad Hair Day is the one about the magician who was cursed as a rabbit. My Hairiest Adventure is the one where the kids get weird body hair mutations. Might review that one, but nobody's ever, actually requested it on our Patreon, so it wasn't prioritized. Besides, My Hairiest Adventure and Say Cheese and Die Again are the only two bad Goosebumps episodes we have left. And up until I do my top 10 worst episodes, but yeah. I prefer 2000 series compared to DCEU Birds of Prey. Yeah, because the 2000 show had effort in it. Sadly, I did not like their Catwoman, so she's our first bad kitty. Just need some water. Alright, so speaking of which, we should also talk about the last Catwoman I don't recognize on this list. Batman, the Caped Crusader Catwoman, played by Christina Ricci. Going on to Catzilla because I've never watched this show. I've heard some people loved the Caped Crusader show, some people hate it, some people are mid. If you don't know, there's currently a new Batman the Animated Series geared towards adults, taking place in the 1940s, I believe, where we see Batman in his early career fighting villains in a more sort of animated series style, but with blood, murder, sex, cussing, and all that. And Bruce Timm is working on the show, basically having a bunch of plot lines he wanted for the animated series, only reinvented for this new show. And never watched it. I've never watched it. I have no familiarity with Christina Ricci's Catwoman. I love Christina Ricci. I think she could be a good Catwoman. Definitely better than Tara, but never watched it. I don't have any familiarity with this Selina. I do love that they brought her dress outfit back from the classic look in Brave and the Bold, but just don't know her. That's the So Bad It's Good episode. Yeah, My Hairiest Adventure. It's a funny bad kind of episode, not an infuriating bad like You Can't Scare Me or Go Eat Worms are. Yeah, My Hairiest Adventure, it's definitely a funny one. I'm glad we're saving that one for a little later. I'm not sure if anyone wanted us to review it. That's kind of the thing. I mean, we are going to talk about all the episodes, but everyone wants The Living Dummy and Say Cheese and Die next. Unpopular opinion, Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn. I love all scenes with Harley. The movie is dumb, but Harley Quinn makes it watchable. Well, Ewan McGregor's Black Mask is what ruined it for me. Never watched The Caped Crusader yet. A 1940s Gotham written by Vivzy Pop, count me in. Did Vivzy Pop actually work on that? I think you might be referencing it, but okay. You would love the Crusader one, especially how she became Catwoman. You don't need to see it. Watch it when you are done with this tier. Okay. So, yeah, no opinions to form on it. I'm a bit iffy on watching the Caped Crusader because, again, a lot of people I like and respect actually said it was bad, but some people also said it was good, it was underrated. My friend Emily loves Onomatopoeia. I did see a clip of that. The Onomatopoeia finally gets an animated debut. He basically says the weird kind of phrases like in Adam West Show, the whoosh, bang, pow. Yeah, literally, he talks in only onomatopoeias. I did like that clip of him. Everything else, a bit iffy towards trying it out, but never watched it. Have not seen the first season. I hope she comes back second season, so I got more to work with. I only like and know that they keep indirectly flirting to each other. Suggestion idea, ranking the Treehouse of Horror segments. That one could be fun. I have thought about doing that one. I only like and know that they keep indirectly flirting to each other, Batman and Selina. Okay. So I think that completes all the Catwoman I don't know. So let's start getting more out of the way. Alright, so let's talk about Sonya Lathane's Catwoman from the Harley Quinn show. A lot of people ask me my thoughts on Harley Quinn. I actually liked the Selina at first, but how she was portrayed in later seasons really lost points for me. So I'm putting her on, well, she'll do. Yeah, I know. I could hear the Harley Quinn fan base going nuts and catty over this. I did like her Selina Kyle at first. Catwoman is the cool girl, the self-confident, self-made, independent woman. Poison Ivy is like a dorky fangirl of this version of Selina. She's basically the Arkham City Catwoman, but just black. And honestly, I'm pretty fine with that design. That's how Catwoman should look. Just make her look like the best Catwoman design ever and change her skin color or race or whatever. Yeah, just Arkham City Catwoman, but black. Unfortunately, she really lost points from me in the third season. Basically, I talked about this before. She gives this very cringy, hypocritical, and stupid Black Lives Matter type of speech. It's a parody of a real speech that I think Regina King delivered on the Oscar night one time. I don't watch the Oscars because nobody likes them anymore. Yeah, but she gives a stupid speech about race, and then she has a very toxic relationship with Bruce. Just checking some comments, sorry. Michelle, okay. Will you be reviewing episodes of Cartoon Network shows other than Scooby and Courage? Somebody did request I do a top 10 Ed, Edd and Eddy episodes. I might do that, and technically Goosebumps does count as Cartoon Network. It aired on Cartoon Network briefly. Also, it's a shame Harley Quinn and Kate Crusader is terrible. Like, she is designed terrible. Yeah, she's also like a weird fat Asian hypnotherapist or something. That kind of turned me away from trying it because Harley Quinn's redesign was so bizarre. She looked like Mammon from Hell of a Boss. My favorite Catwoman is Lauren Faust version. She didn't make it up here. She's on What Happened to My Valuables. That's good. I did like her, but not enough to put her on perfect. No, Cat. Canadians are weird. Yeah, Ed, Edd and Eddy, another Canadian show we'll be talking about if we do. Anyways, did not like how she treats Bruce. Basically, this Catwoman is kind of a gold digger, a manipulator. She's leading Bruce Wayne on, kind of. They have a rocky relationship. The music meister actually comes and gives them therapy. They sing a song. Selina is afraid of being tied down, doesn't know her feelings for Batman, kind of takes Bruce for granted. It's kind of like a parody of a girl in an unsatisfied relationship. Bruce is supposed to be this guy who's not as good in bed as he thinks. They kind of make fun of him. I didn't think she was cool at first, but she kind of became a very cold bitch as the show went on. Ironically, Catwoman is more mean than Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, which is weird because Harley and Ivy are supposed to be the irredeemable bad girls. But nope, she's the mean girl in their Gotham City Sirens posse. I know they do form the Sirens in the end. Selina becomes their third wheel kind of friend. Harley and Ivy become a lesbian couple because everybody loved that. Just didn't like how she's been portrayed lately and kind of went downhill, honestly. I liked her at first, but from season 3 onward, I've seen clips of how Selina is and really don't like her. She comes across as a nasty Catwoman, so I'll put her on Well She'll Do because I liked her at first. She has her moments, has her funny side, but ultimately not one of my favorites anymore. Yeah, Alexa Woods was in Alien vs. Predator. That's Sonya Lethane. She plays Catwoman in this show, and she's also Donna from the Cleveland show. The Music Meister is one of my favorite obscure villains. Love the concept. I wish they got Neil Patrick Harris back as the Music Meister, but they replaced him with a guy who does a CeeLo Green impression for Harley Quinn, and that was kind of weird. Harley Quinn show is an insane fun series, but yeah, I agree, this Catwoman's a mixed bag. Yeah, they kind of go back and forth over whether or not we're supposed to like her or if she's just a cold bitch. Also, Vanessa Brooks was in the Blade movie. I don't like Catwoman in the Harley Quinn show. Yeah, surprise, I am a fan. Harley times Ivy is the reason why I consider Harley as bi or pan. I consider Poison Ivy bisexual too because she had a thing for guys. I mean, her origin had her fall in love with Jason Woodrue before he turned out to be a nasty guy. Also, why is her goggles black? Yeah, that is kind of weird. She wears her sunglasses at night. Maybe Seth MacFarlane could voice the Music Meister if he ever makes a comeback. Well, Seth is too busy making Ted the animated series. Anyways, she'll go on what she'll do. Okay, we still got plenty of good Catwoman. So, let's talk about my most controversial take, Anne Hathaway's Catwoman. I do not like Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. She's going on bad kitty, needs to be declawed. Yeah, this is gonna cause a lot of fan discussion and flame wars, but I do not like The Dark Knight Rises. I was very underwhelmed and disappointed by it. I thought Tom Hardy's Bane was definitely cool, but I didn't like how they portrayed Batman, and I especially did not like Anne Hathaway's Catwoman. I just find it cute. They tried to make Anne Hathaway look like Julie Newmar's Catwoman, but with a modern, sleek design, but this Catwoman's a bitch. She is just a cold, manipulative, backstabbing, evil bitch. They destroyed Selina as a character in this movie. Why? Because they gave her no sympathetic moments. I feel no sympathy for this Selina. Basically, she's back to being poor. She lives on the bad side of town. She's robbing because she's kind of like a Robin Hood type of Catwoman. Robbing rich people because they deserve it. Her Selina is more smug and arrogant, kind of cold. She is a total mercenary. She is working for the main villains. Roland Daggett is in this movie. And Bane. She robs for them. Ultimately, they betray her, but she outwits them. Plays up her femme fatale charm very greatly, I will say, but I did not like her. She's just nasty, unpleasant, mean, and she's the reason Batman gets beat up and his back broken by Bane in the first place. Anne Hathaway, better as Jewel from Rio. A bad credit card! Suffer and succotash. Oh, you want Michelle Pfeiffer next. Sorry, James, but I want to get a bad Catwoman out of the way. Do not like her. I just don't. She is nasty, and honestly, I did not get what people were saying that Anne Hathaway is the greatest Catwoman of all time. This came out around the same time Gray DeLeo played her on the kick-ass Arkham City game. Yeah, I do cherish voice acting and regular live-action acting in the same league. Fight me. Hello again, hope it's going good. Well, here I go again on my own. Suffer and succotash. Wasn't Jason Woodrue the name of the scientist that almost killed Ivy and Batman and Robin? Lol. Yeah, that guy's a part of her origin. Jason Woodrue actually didn't die from Poison Ivy kissing him. In the comics, he becomes the Floronic Man. But basically, he's also a plant scientist. He was a guy in the comics Ivy had a crush on. She had a crush on her professor, but the professor turned out to be a total D-bag and used her where he attempted to murder her under the plant chemicals, which mutated her. Batman and Robin did get that accurate. Jason Woodrue was her superior and idol before he betrayed her. That woman tarnished Catwoman. If I was there, I would totally injure this Catwoman. Well, it's either this role or her role in the Grand High Witch in 2020's The Witches, and I mean, they made her look like Melina from Mortal Kombat. Yeah, Anne Hathaway has not made good career choices lately. I liked it almost as much as The Dark Knight, but Rises overall, with most people, seems to be the one that's considered okay not to like. Honestly, The Dark Knight Rises, its problem is it was a disappointing finale, and Christopher Nolan allegedly did not want to make it, but he did it anyway because Warner Brothers gave him a big fat check and he didn't want his baby to be ruined by someone else. Dark Knight Rises is an interesting movie. For I remembered liking it at first when I saw it in theaters, though the more I watch it, the more I notice its flaws and problems. Yeah, I'm not a fan of The Dark Knight Rises either, and I didn't like it at first. Number one, it's way too long. It's almost longer than Heath Ledger's Dark Knight. Number two, I was not a fan of how they portrayed Catwoman in this movie. Anne Hathaway's Catwoman, she's just mean. She's nasty. She has no chemistry with Christian Bale, and I swear, I was in the theater when this was first premiering, and When Batman and Catwoman finally make amends and kiss for the first time in their big romantic moment, I mean, no joke, the guy in front of me actually whispered, "Wait, I thought she hated him." Yeah, that kind of made me notice this version of Catwoman did not have any chemistry with Batman at all. She doesn't like Batman, she betrays him, and she's a total bitch to Bruce Wayne. She pretty much robs his car, helps him lose all his assets, and he basically forgives her and they end up together. That is the story of how Bat-Cat romance each other in this. And yeah, basically, the one Catwoman I don't want to see Batman end up with is the one who gets a happy ending, basically fleeing to Rome with him, and they have their new double life. They have a clean slate. Catwoman escapes from her bad history and kind of rewarded for being a traitor to everyone. She and Batman hook up. Oh yeah, and Catwoman also punk kills Bane. All this build up for how badass Tom Hardy is as Bane, and Catwoman just rolls in and shoots him. That is how Bane dies in the movie, so Talia al Ghul can take over as the villain, showing how this Batman is a total dumbass. Okay, I agreed, but put her on top of Bad Kitty. Catzilla is not the Bad Kitty, it's the ones I'm unfamiliar with. Also, Myrna, the White Queen from Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, I remember her on that. She was weird in that, too. Maybe you could do a ranking of all the Goosebumps stories that never got a chance to shine in the 90s show. Well, I haven't read those books. Why didn't they get Grey DeLisle to be a live-action Catwoman better than Anne Hathaway? I fully agree, but Grey DeLisle's kind of transitioned into voice acting only now. I don't see her do live stuff anymore. And she was definitely young enough to still do it. Bad Kitties, Anne Hathaway, Halle Berry, and then the Birds of Prey. Anne Hathaway could have been better had Nolan had more time to write her and knew the character. Yeah, that was the problem, Bodhi. He didn't know this Catwoman. She only had one sympathetic moment, that's it, but I still find her look pretty hot. I just don't like her personality. Like, let it never be said that I'm giving these Catwoman breaks because they're hot. Like, yeah, Anne Hathaway is gorgeous, but her Catwoman's personality's ugly. She is nasty, she's unpleasant, she's a rude bitch all the time. She has one sympathetic moment where, like, she saves, like, a boy being picked on by Bane's thugs. She turns good at the complete random drop of a hat, and she's kind of rewarded for all her awful behavior. She and Christian Bale do not have any good chemistry. I'm not even gonna lie, I did not find them hot together at all. And ultimately, like, she gets rewarded for her bad behavior. This Catwoman did not earn her redemption arc. Like, the Telltale Batman earned her redemption. The Injustice Catwoman even earned her redemption. And yeah, Arkham City Catwoman earned her redemption. This version did not earn it. She's like worse than Kylo Ren. To think that Anne's good role was the Princess Diaries movie back in the 2000s. Yeah, Bodhi, you would find Anne Hathaway hot. Could you review episode Tales from the Crypt Keeper anytime soon? I'm not reviewing Tales from the Crypt, Glitchy. I've just lost interest in doing it. Not doing the live action show or the animated series. Yeah, basically just ripped off Christopher Walken pushing Selina off the building in Returns. Yeah, they did. Birds of Prey is better than the Anne Hathaway. Yeah, definitely. Hey, Kat, who's your favorite obscure Batman villain? Obscure? I might have to go with the Mad Hatter. I know we Batman fans all know who he is, but believe it or not, the Mad Hatter is underrated. He doesn't get as much love anymore as he used to. Love Jervis Tetch, the Mad Hatter. I did a review on a fan film that did a live action adaptation, Mad as a Hatter. The guy who played Jervis was pretty cool. Rowdy McDowell, kick-ass, love his Mad Hatter. Peter McNichol, awesome creepy Mad Hatter. We almost had Robin Williams as the Mad Hatter in the Schumacher-verse. Kind of sad we didn't, but hey, considering how bad Batman Robin was, we might have dodged a bullet. I think the Mad Hatter is my favorite underrated obscure Batman villain. Yeah, he is obscure because a lot of people don't remember him. It's very sad because he's really cool. Love his mind control, love his Wonderland gimmick, love his hyperactive, crazy persona. Peter McNichol and Rowdy McDowell are the greatest Mad Hatter villains of all time. Put the 2005 Catwoman in Bad Kitty. Oh, you don't like that one? I heard the only live-action role Grey did was that 70s show. Oh, I gotta find her on that. I gotta rewatch that then. Her Catwoman is an odd one, but Anne Hathaway is a hottie in real life. Yeah, she's hot in real life, but believe it or not, personality actually is affecting this list too, so did not like her personally. If I'm going to talk about non-horror, non-DC ideas, I wonder if Cat simps over Kitty Catswell. Well, Glitchy Yoshi, I love Kitty Catswell. She is actually on my waifus list. Kitty Catswell, love her. She is one of my favorite waifus. It's a list on Patreon, so please feel free to watch that. It is a free tier episode. You can see my feelings on Kitty Catswell there, but the short version is, yeah, I love her. She's just good furry Catwoman. Bodhi finds the voice of Jewel from Ryu hot. Bodhi, have you seen Ryu? I'm not sure you have, but Anne Hathaway is in that. Also, what happened to your interest in Tales from the Crypt? I've just lost interest in talking about that because my views are not very high. Yeah, my Goosebumps are not getting high views, so I'm very doubtful Tales from the Crypt will do very high. Like, most of my Goosebumps stuff has not even broke 1,000 yet lately. So, Tales from the Crypt, I just lost interest, and also there's like 90 episodes. I might review the finale since it's a cartoon, but the show as a whole, probably not. Okay, Halle Berry. I love Halle Berry, but it's not Catwoman. More like that kid from Goosebumps, Cry of the Cat. And Anne has the gall to beg Bale to go with her and abandon Gotham after all she put him through condemning an entirely redeemable city. Yeah, she wanted to flee. You don't have to save them. She's like ready to go on her bat cycle, but no, she goes back because there's good in her. Which would have been nice to see it sprinkled throughout the movie, but we get more bad from her than good. Hey Cat, quote that 70s show. Let's play Foot Cockroach Nuclear Bomb. Yeah, remember that? Let's play Foot Cockroach Nuclear Bomb. Well, I always have this idea of a fan casting Sonny the Cuckoo Bird as the Mad Hatter. Yeah, Lion-O. Lion-O played Sonny. So let's get it out of the way, do Halle Berry's Catwoman. Why Grey DeLisle love voicing female cat characters? Well, Arkham City really opened doors for her, so I guess she's now getting typecasted. Even Daphne dressed up like a cat. The 70s show episode where Grey DeLisle did her live-action performance, the prom episode. Also, do you know the link for the Mad Hatter fan film? It's called Jervis. Look up Jervis. It's a fan film basically on YouTube. It's completely free. There are 2 versions. I'm trying to remember who made them. I don't remember the channel's name. It's called Jervis. It's basically a live-action remake of Mad as a Hatter. I did do a review on that. I might repost that since St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and Mad Hatter is green, so there's that. Like Tales from the Crypt have some magic school bus actors. I heard it did, but Goosebumps also has magic school bus actors. I saw Rio once, barely remember it. Didn't bother with the second film. Yeah, the second film I heard was bad. Well, Cat, you're just uploading those videos outside of Spooky Month. Have some variety. Yeah, I do. I got some horror stuff I want to slash off. People really want Goosebumps, so we are keeping that. I've been doing some different stuff. I did Casey Jones, and I did Night of the Living Dew, which is horror adjacent, but still a horror. Who else is happy that Kathleen Kennedy is leaving? We all are. But I'll believe it when I see it. It could be fake news, a complete stunt. By the way, Cat Wanda from Magic School Bus actress played Sherry Birkin in RE2. RE2. Classic RE2. I meant the mascot of the Cocoa Puffs, Sonny. Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. Lion-O actually voiced the Cocoa Puffs mascot. I casted the Nesquik bunny as the Marge Hare. Okay, you mean the literal characters. Why not review the Disney Channel original movie Luck of the Irish for St. Patrick's Day? Disney movies are kind of outside my wheelhouse. That's kind of why. Alright, narrowing down the Catwoman, so... where was... Yeah, Anne Hathaway, bad kitty. She might be the worst, but we do have some others on here. Okay, so let's talk about who to do next. There's so many good options. Somebody wanted Michelle Pfeiffer. Alright, we'll talk about Batman Returns, Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman. Michelle Pfeiffer, going on What Happened to My Valuables? Yeah, I might put her under Zoe Kravitz. Okay, so, you know how I just disrespected The Dark Knight Rises? Well, I have mixed feelings on Batman Returns. A lot of people are split over Tim Burton's Batman Returns, the sequel to Batman 89. This is the follow-up to Michael Keaton's Batman. After such a huge smash hit, Warner Brothers gave full creative control to Tim Burton for the sequel, where Catwoman was one of the villains alongside the Penguin and Christopher Walken's Max Schreck. And honestly, I kind of have mixed feelings on how Catwoman was portrayed in that movie. However, I do agree Michelle Pfeiffer knocked it out of the park. Michelle Pfeiffer is basically Selina Kyle, a loser nerd girl. She's this abused secretary who deals with shit from men who think she's dumb, treat her like a house cat, kind of. Michelle Pfeiffer, they went to kind of hilarious extremes to try and make her look like an ugly nerd girl when, you know, she's supermodel Michelle Pfeiffer just wearing glasses and ugly grandma clothes. Basically, she's an abused secretary, works for Christopher Walken. Walken is kind of the stand-in for Harvey Dent and Roman Sionis, is sort of. I heard rumors that Christopher Walken was supposed to become Black Mask in the movie, but that didn't come to fruition. Basically, Michelle Pfeiffer finds out that he's doing illegal things, and Christopher Walken silences her by pushing her out a window to her death, where she's reawakened by cats. And yeah, this leads to kind of the infamous scene where Selina wakes up now acting like a cat, and the cats saved her life inadvertently. This scene would later be taken literally by Halle Berry's Catwoman movie, and I still think it was ridiculous even back then. Basically, the cats come out of the alley and sort of give her a rebirth, and it's kept ambiguous if Catwoman is supernatural or if it was just dumb luck that she survived by complete accident. Catwoman reawakens, she has her female meltdown, she goes nuts, destroys her apartment, and not gonna lie, I thought it was a really cringe scene. Everybody praises this because Michelle Pfeiffer is a good actress, but the scene where she freaks out, yells, and destroys everything in her apartment goes on way too long and too kind of got funny as it went on. She's like spray painting her pink room black, makes her Catwoman costume out of like discarded fashion, and becomes this Frankenstein monster style Catwoman. Catwoman has like these weird stitch marks crudely over her suit. It's like a very half-baked, put-together latex costume where Catwoman basically fights back against the world, destroys stuff, robs stuff, gets back at dumb men kind of thing. Very bizarre angle. Halle Berry, bad kitty. You can watch full movies get blocked in streaming services on internet. Yeah, those happen. Jervis is a fan film. It is free. I would have preferred the Batman fan film Puppet Master over The Dark Knight Rises as a proper sequel, by the way. Yeah, agree. I should check it out. Okay, Batman Puppet Master. When are you going to continue Crypt TV and Tales from the Dark Side? Sorry, Akira and my fans. Tales from the Dark Side, I'm going to have to tread lightly. That's facing copyright issues. It's like getting blocked. It's taken Goosebumps' place as the show we have to kind of walk on thin ice for. I'm not going to be reviewing all of Tales from the Dark Side. I'm going to be reviewing select episodes from it, but we haven't gotten back to it because I'm sick of dealing with copyright blocks. I want to get some stuff on here that you guys can actually enjoy and won't be blocked for like a month, up for 2 days only to get blocked again. And Crypt TV, I think I might just be dropping it. Nobody's like interested in our Crypt TV stuff. Everyone wants Goosebumps. So we're going to be finishing Goosebumps first. A bad credit card? I'll kill ya! Definitely a conflicting movie. I agree, Shadowlink. I think Bennett the Sage and Filmbrain did a very good review on why I don't like Dark Knight Returns. Or, sorry, Batman Returns. It is kind of a mixed bag. There's good moments for sure. Michael Keaton is awesome. Michelle Pfeiffer actually is a good Catwoman. It's why she's high up here. However, the choices they make for the story and the plot as a whole, very peculiar. It is a Tim Burton movie, I'll say that. I can't believe there's a Batman villain called Max Schreck. Well, Max Schreck is allegedly a stand-in for Two-Face. I heard rumors that he was supposed to be Roman Sionis, but they ended up changing that because Christopher Walken didn't really look like Roman Sionis. Found the fan film. It was made by someone named Art Is a Lie. That is them, Anime Night. Art Is a Lie, the Jervis fan film. It is awesome. I love that movie. I actually gave it a review because I wanted to spread the word on it. Art Is a Lie's Jervis. Recommend that. It is a good Mad Hatter origin film. Fun fact, with the bird eating scene, she actually put a bird in her mouth and let it fly away. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer actually ate a bird, but spat it back out. The bird was alive. I can only imagine what her tongue must look like from having it in there. And Michelle Pfeiffer did learn how to use a whip, so huge praise for that. Love that she actually whipped guards, actually used the whip in combat, actually learned how to fly on it. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer did a lot for this movie, I will agree. She is pretty hot, too. They did get Catwoman's attraction right. So, as you can guess, she forms a romance with Batman, and I love their kiss scene. That is what I love the most. Mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it. A kiss can be even deadlier. And she has one of the hottest movie kisses where she licks Batman's face like a cat. Yeah. Unfortunately, that is also why she didn't make perfect, because this Catwoman literally acts like a cat. Like, that is not a joke. Selina Kyle thinks she's like a werecat. When she's Catwoman, she's a totally different person. She has her sultry femme fatale confidence. She's the woman she wanted to be. She walks on all fours. She licks Batman to kiss him. She eats birds. She claws people. She hisses. She literally has 9 lives, and that is weird. It's like, I love Catwoman, and I love her acting like a cat, but here they kind of push it way too far. Like, Christopher Walken actually shoots her a couple times, but she has 9 lives, and she walks off bullets to her torso. Don't know why he ever shoots her in the head, but yeah, she had 9 lives, and she fries Max Schreck to death with a taser she stole, like, tases them both, and allegedly kills herself with him. Oh, come on, I like Two-Face. I like Two-Face too. Billy D. Williams was supposed to be the third villain in this, but unfortunately Billy D. Williams left the Tim Burton Schumacher era because he was filming other things, so they replaced him with Christopher Walken, who, honestly, I really hated in this movie. I'm sorry, Christopher Walken is very bizarre in Batman Returns. I know everybody loves him and that's a part of the Walken charm, but me, I felt kind of annoyed by him because he wasn't playing an actual Batman villain. Also, I remember hearing that the Catwoman suit was too tight for Michelle. Yeah, it was like literally latex rubber. It kept breaking. She wore it, and I believe the stitch marks were actual literal stitch marks they tried to fix it with. Michelle Pfeiffer usually learns how to weep this day. His weep skills are real. Face, Batman, lick, electric kiss. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer is pretty sexy, which is why she won points. She and Batman do have hot chemistry, but it's more of a tragic romance that Batman and Catwoman are not gonna get together because she's far gone in her revenge and her insanity, and Batman can't be the man who can save her. He wants to help her. They're 2 peas in a pod. They're in the same stitch. I love John Doe. Yeah, they're 2 threads in the same stitch. He wants to save her, but ultimately Catwoman chooses to be evil, where their romance ends tragically. The face-to-face scene, that is definitely the peak of Catwoman. dance scene. You know what I'm talking about. They're attending the New Year's party. Catwoman and Batman are ironically the only ones not in costume because, get it, Catwoman and Batman are who they truly are. They're on there kissing and they accidentally say a phrase they said when they were Batman and Catwoman, and it ends tragically realizing that they're on opposite sides of the law, but before Penguin crashes the party. I really love the face-to-face scene. That scene became immortalized as Michelle Pfeiffer's best scene. You know, asides her lounging around all sensually and stuff. And Catwoman actually didn't die in the end. We see her shadow, and they tease that Catwoman's going to get a spin-off movie, which would eventually become Halle Berry's Catwoman. The less said on that, the better. Sorry, reading some comments. Yeah, she keeps counting down like she literally has 9 lives, lol. That part made me laugh more than intrigued, and it really did not make sense. I'm sorry, the 9 lives stuff was really out there. Electric Kiss of Death. Like, why not do rapid fire Tales from the Dark Side like you did with Are You Afraid of the Dark? I might do that, but I don't know. I actually like it when Catwoman acts like a cat. Yeah, me too, but there's kind of a limit. Like, her literally eating birds and pouncing around walking on 4 is kind of weird. Michelle Pfeiffer was also Wasp from Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah, but she's no Colleen O'Shaughnessy. Earth's mightiest hero Wasp is my Wasp. I remember hearing how Sean Young wanted to play Catwoman for the film and even came to the studio with a homemade outfit with a cape. Yeah, what's her name? Sean Young. She's sadly not on here, guys, because Sean Young tried to become Catwoman of the movie and was looking forward to it, but unfortunately they didn't pick her. Instead, she went on Ace Ventura. The same mistake Thor made. Should have gone for the head. Yeah, he didn't cap her in the head. That was weird. I'm glad Zoe didn't put a bird in her mouth like Michelle did. I personally found that moment cringe. Fully agree, Bodhi. The moment where she eats a bird, everyone praises her because Michelle Pfeiffer actually put a bird in her mouth, but not a sexy quality. Kitty Catswell made it hotter. Except they show her at the end. Yeah, she didn't die. She shows up when the bat signal's risen. And yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer was supposed to get a spin-off, which never happened. Love her role in this and Eris from Sinbad. Not much in the MCU films. Looking at you, Ant-Man, Quantumania. That was trash. They not only screwed over Wasp, but my boy MODOK. Will you review DreamWorks series Curses or Archie's Weird Mysteries? No, I will not. I'm not doing DreamWorks stuff because DreamWorks kind of blocked my Go Eat Worms review when I used the Earthworm Jim theme, so they'll probably block those videos too. Bruce Wayne, why are you dressed up like Batman? Because he is Batman, you moron. Well, do we count Christina V. Catwoman outfit in your tier list, or only canon Catwoman designs? Sorry, Akira, only Catwoman. Canon Catwomen designs. They have to be part of Warner Brothers and the DC. Simp. Also, the Penguin was acting like a penguin and has the psyche. Also, the blood scene in the beginning of the movie. Oh yeah, Penguin bit a guy's nose off. That was goofy and really cringe. Newt. We don't talk about Quantumania. Fully agree, Shadowlink. That never happened. Billy and Mandy would be cool for you to review. I have gotten requests for that because it is a horror show. I thought about doing a top 10 on Billy and Mandy. That's about it. Not enough content for me to talk about for full reviews. That's the only thing. I thought I smelled fish. I thought I smelled fish because the nearest ocean was 3 rings down. Funny. But yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer, she was a good Catwoman, but she doesn't make it to perfect because I have mixed feelings about the movie, but she did make my top 10, so there is a lot to love, and Michelle Pfeiffer's hot, she's kick-ass, she was fun at times, she did have sexy moments as Catwoman, but what holds her back is Tim Burton's decisions with her, so I'll put her on What Happened to My Valuables, because she was a good Catwoman overall. But yeah. Alright, gotta use the restroom again, so you guys vote on who you want to see next. Okay, Cat's back on the prowl. What do you guys vote for? Sorry, checking my chat. But yeah, Mad Hatter should get more attention as of recent. Fully agree, Bodhi. You should watch the Jervis fan film, Art is a Lie. They did a really good one. Like if David Zaslav gets fired in Warner Brothers, so could Christina V voice Catwoman. I agree, Akira, she could voice Catwoman, but they're just not casting her for it. Lego Catwoman, also please review Disney Channel movies, please. Those are hard to find. My friend James Loveland and I were supposed to review Terror Tower, the ride movie, not the Goosebumps one. And the Terror Tower ride got a movie, and he wanted to do a horror movie review with me on that, but we couldn't get a good copy. Injustice Catwoman, the Batman Catwoman, Catwoman from the Batman, Christina V. Also, I see Katana Catwoman. Yes, Katana made it on here. Oh, they even got the Mortal Kombat versus DC Catwoman on here too. That game was something, yeah. Alright, let's do Injustice Catwoman. There are 2 Injustice Catwomen on here. There's Injustice 1, and I think this is Injustice 2, because they covered her up more. I might be getting them mixed up. That's kind of a thing. Alright, no, this is Injustice 2 Catwoman. Okay, they give 2 Injustice 1 Catwoman. Alright, let's talk about the first one, the normal default Catwoman. This one, going on to perfect. Injustice is a Mortal Kombat style DC video game where basically you get to fight as DC icons in a crossover battle royale kind of deal. It's Mortal Kombat, but with DC characters. That's all it is. Injustice takes place in, like, the multiverse. There's an evil Superman who killed the Joker, and he formed a regime conquering the planet, but Batman formed a resistance, the Resurgence, who are fighting back against this regime, and Catwoman joins Superman's side, but undergoes character development where she falls back with Bruce. Catwoman, played by Grace Leal again, implying that this is set in like the Arkham City kind of verse. Catwoman is at first a member of Superman's regime. She's helping oppress them, helping rule the world. However, she clearly has feelings with Bruce, and she became a part of the regime to protect Batman, and they still have great romantic chemistry together. I really liked Injustice Catwoman. Not much to talk about because she is kind of a side character, but she undergoes a redemption arc where her feelings for Bruce help convince her to finally abandon the regime. Superman gets defeated in the end. Evil Superman, just to clarify. He gets dethroned, the Resurgence saves the day, and Selina ultimately goes back in the good graces to Batman because they love each other. Like, Catwoman cartwheeling is sexy. Injustice Catwoman, who's a good kitty? Well, this Catwoman's very hot. It's, once again, the Arkham City Catwoman, but made for a different game. She even had, like, a DLC skin. This Catwoman, very acrobatic, very nimble. She reminds me of Felicia from Darkstalkers, how she plays-wise. Love the cat moves, love her running people down with her motorcycle. This Catwoman really kick-ass, really fun, really sassy. Love her victory screen where Isis gives her the diamond and she's sitting in the pale window. There's two of them. Yeah, there's two Injustices. For some reason, they gave the second one on here. This one, I'll put on Who's a Good Kitty. This is Long Halloween Catwoman skin, which, yeah, it's her alternate skin. Basically, you can unlock new skins or just buy new skins on the Injustice games. They gave her more her Long Halloween look, but I did not think it translated very well in the video game. I'm putting it on Who's a Good Kitty, so there you go. Glitchy. People want the Batman Catwoman next. We'll get to her. Yeah, they got DC Catwoman. DC versus Mortal Kombat Catwoman. If you do Disney movies, how about HE double hockey sticks? I feel like this film needs to be an acknowledged movie. Injustice 1 had the different universes, the standard and Injustice verse. That's why there's two versions. Purple in the Injustice version and in the first game. Yeah. Like, Static gets shafted by video games, but Injustice mobile game. Yeah, Static Shock gets screwed over a lot by DC. Sorry, I need to grab my charger. I remember I heard Marie Antoinette. I don't like the WB Catwoman fighting games. Oh, you don't, James? They're pretty fun. They're nothing special. It's basically a fighting game, but it has a plot around it. NetherRealm Studios is in charge, and unfortunately their quality has really dropped. Love Mortal Kombat 9. That is one of my favorite games, especially Katana. And love the first Injustice. Injustice 2, not a bad game. I thought it was one of their highlights. Unfortunately, as you can tell, NRS, NetherRealm Studios, has gone downhill lately. Mortal Kombat 11 sucked, and Mortal Kombat 1 is nothing special. No one's talking about it anymore, and Injustice 3 is kind of a question mark for them now. For one, they need to stop doing microtransactions. So if Isis is her cat but got controversial, so what is her new cat's name? I think Isis is getting renamed Bastet or Bast. You know, that's the Egyptian cat god. They might rename her Bastet. Static Shock is the Moon Girl of DC. No, because Static Shock's show was actually good. Oh yeah, I went there. Allow me to throw my cap into the ring, another DCOM Teen Beach movie and its sequel. Oh no, I saw Phantom Strider talk about that. That one looked pretty cringe. You should make like the ocean and wave goodbye. The Catwoman WB game's not the game. Oh, you're talking about the stupid movie-based game off of Halle Berry's movie where Jennifer Hale was Catwoman for the one and only one time. Not the games at whole. Okay. Moon Girl has a TV series, teams up with Spidey, and I never watched that. Still would like an Injustice 3 where the story will go. I hope we see Zatanna come back in Injustice 3, and I'm really hoping we see John Constantine in Injustice 3. Yeah, Linkara clarified his name is Constantine, but we call him Constantine because that's what he's been called in a lot of media. Anyways, Injustice Catwoman. Love this look for her. This one is okay. She's going on Who's a Good Kitty. So we should also get Injustice 2 Catwoman out of the way, and unfortunately I'm gonna put her on Who's a Good Kitty. Basically, Catwoman is now redeemed. She is a part of Batman's new Justice League kind of team. She's a spy watching Gorilla Grodd's Legion of Doom. Because Catwoman's well known as a villain, she infiltrates the Legion of Doom, is keeping watch over Gorilla Grodd and his villain resistance, and she's secretly a covert op working with Batman, has a lot more cute chemistry with him. However, there is one huge reason why I did not like this Catwoman, and that's her arcade ending. Did not like it. I hated it. Basically, if Catwoman defeats the evil Brainiac, yeah, Brainiac is the villain of this game. If she defeats Brainiac, she gets everything she ever wanted. A relationship with Bruce, a mansion, servants. She doesn't have to live in the poorhouse. She has everything she could ever want, including a man who loves her. And she's bored. She dumps that and ditches Bruce, deciding she likes being a villain, and goes back to her crappy life, leaving Bruce high and dry. And that is not Catwoman. Not my favorite Catwoman. Hated that ending. Hated how basically her relationship with Bruce was just a phase. That is it. Her relationship with Bruce was just a phase. She wanted Batman because she couldn't get him, but when she finally did win him over, she decides, nah, I don't like you, the magic's gone, and she abandons her rich mansion and easy life, or happily ever after, the life Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman would have killed for, by the way, and she decides, no, I'm bored, don't want it, victory's boring, I'm going back to living in my crappy apartment robbing people. Maybe a sequel to Multiverse. Wait, like the Frog? No, John Constantine. He's the evil, drunken wizard guy. Yeah, I would love to see where Injustice 3's story will go. They would have to abandon evil Superman, that's for sure. Injustice Catwoman, Injustice 2 Catwoman, and DC vs. Mortal Kombat Catwoman. Catwoman do not like. Oh, you don't like those, James? I want Static Shock in Injustice 3 and Sam and Dean Winchester as DLC specials. I like the Winchester bros, but I don't think they're going to be in a DC video game. Like, why is Brainiac the Injustice 2 villain instead of Darkseid? They might be saving Darkseid for Injustice 3. Yoshi, I wish I wanted Starfire and Daphne Blake in the multiverse for years. I think Daphne is in it. Alright, so let's get Mortal Kombat versus DC Catwoman out of the way. And honestly, really love her look. Very sexy Catwoman. All the women look hot and all the men look buff as hell. So there was definitely a lot of fan service in these designs. But the game's kind of a mess. And Catwoman didn't really do anything. Honestly, I love Kitana a lot more. But I'll put her on low on who's a good kitty. Love her design. Love how this essentially inspired the Arkham City look for Catwoman, so it does have some credit. The voice, kind of forgettable. This Catwoman has a really generic, sexy femme fatale voice. She's clearly overshadowed by better characters. They did not get anyone from DC media to play these characters, so no, we don't have Adrienne Barbeau or Grey DeLisle. It's some unknown actress. I don't know her, and I haven't heard her appear in other things. Darkseid was a playable DLC character in Injustice 2 anyway. Yeah, but he might be the main villain of the campaign mode. That's what we were talking about. I just got an idea for a variant of Catwoman inspired by classic cartoons for Mortal Kombat. Good for you. No, it's Velma in the multiverse and she isn't a fighter. Aw, that sucks. At least it's not Mindy Kaling Velma. I'm glad he's in there and we're out here and he's out here and we're in here and he's the sheriff and that's why he's out here. Okay, so Catwoman, kind of a barely meh character. She doesn't get to do much. She apparently survives being thrown 20 stories and into a car by the Flash, so she's pretty tough. I like her design, so there is that. That won her points, but personality-wise, a bit flat. She doesn't even flirt with Batman in this game, so she'll go on Who's a Good Kitty. I like her more than Sonya Lethane and the Felix the Cat Catwoman, so she definitely won a few points. We'll put her on okay. Okay, so people wanted the Batman Catwoman, Gina Gershon's Catwoman, and she's going on to perfect. Yeah, I will put her above Julie Newmar. This is the Batman, the 2000 show, the anime-esque looking Batman. Basically a full-blown reboot after Batman the Animated Series blew people away. The Batman tried to be a fun action-adventure cartoon for a new generation, and love their Catwoman. Gina Gershon voices Catwoman, and despite being a lot more child-friendly, she is pretty hot. Basically, they took away her femme fatale stuff and made her a sexy ninja girl. This Catwoman is a pro thief again. She looks like Michelle Pfeiffer outside of the mask, but with black hair, but she's ultimately a ninja Catwoman. She wears like the sexual spandex, dresses like a cat, love that she ties her whip like a cat tail, has the yellow goggles, looks more like an Egyptian or a Siamese cat kind of in design-wise, and yeah, she had a lot of fun adventures. Really loved Gina Gershon's voice. She had a very flirtatious side. However, I don't think she and Bruce really had a romantic relationship in this show. It was a lot more kid-friendly. This version of Catwoman is pretty awesome. You mean possum. Wait, run that by me again. Felix the Cat Catwoman. I was talking about the infamous redesigned Catwoman down here. They made her look like a sexy Felix the Cat Catwoman. That was kind of my joke name for her, because she looks like Felix the Cat gender bent. DC versus MK Catwoman is played by Patty Mattson. That explains why I never knew her. MK vs. DC, yeah, did not held up well. A mixed bag of a story, very minimal fighting modes, meh voice acting, and garbage fatalities. That's because DC was not allowed to kill characters and Mortal Kombat had to tone it down. Mortal Kombat 9 way better than MK vs. DC. The Batman Catwoman costume looks perfect. Exactly like a cat. Thanks for clearing that up, Cat. Now I'm gonna throw up. Yeah, pretty bad design. Anyways, love Gina Gershon's The Batman Catwoman. Gina Gershon, very good, especially for what was her early voice acting career. And Catwoman's stories are so much fun in this. Catwoman's a fun character, more of a fun thief. She gets hissy and pissed when things don't go her way. I love how Catwoman tries to act cool, act in control. She's a very smart villain on the show. However, it's always funny when another villain one-ups her or dupes her. This Catwoman helps Batman fight the Yakuza, has a romance with Bruce Wayne briefly, has a rival thief named Ragdoll kind of take over her turf. She gets to do a petty catfight with him. That fight in the clock tower, really kick-ass, still holds up well to this day. Had her team up with the Penguin, a reference to Batman Returns. Her and Tom Kenny's Penguin were very funny together. She and Batman get handcuffed together at one point and have to reluctantly work together. And she and Batgirl actually team up to save endangered cats. They go on a most dangerous game style adventure where the Joker traps them in like this Coliseum maze where he hunts animals, and Catwoman, Batman, and Batgirl are all locked up there. She has reluctant team-ups, and she was also, of course, a part of Rumor's villain abduction. Rumor, this knockoff Hush, kind of abducts all the Batman villains and plans to execute them, and Catwoman is, of course, roped into the mix, with all the villains interacting at once. Really like her. She is fun. She has orange goggles, not yellow. I guess because she had red in her ears, it might have looked very weird. So, what's going on? We're talking about Gina Gershon's Catwoman. And, yeah, I really like her. She is perfect. She did make my top 10 favorite Catwoman ever list. I think she's number 6, if I recall. She made it close to making the top 5, but lost out to Julie Newmar. Ragdoll is a DC villain that has less screen time. Ragdoll is traditionally a Flash villain, but because he's like a skilled thief in the Flash world, he starts invading Gotham instead and runs afoul of Catwoman. Jeff Bennett played Ragdoll and really liked how he and Catwoman had a petty bitch fight. They're both fighting over who's the best thief, and really fun episode. This Catwoman got to be a part of a lot of fun stories, which is why I think she is perfect. Definitely high up there in the same league as Julie and Adrian. Highly recommend watching The Batman, and the Catwoman is just one of their best villains. Alright, needed some water. Alright, let's talk about the Lego Catwoman. This is the Catwoman from the Lego Batman video games, not Zoe Kravitz's Lego cameo. This one, honestly, I might actually put on, hey, what happened to my valuables? Catwoman doesn't actually talk in the first game. She got a voice later. I think Grey DeLisle or Vanessa Marshall voices her. Yeah, this Catwoman, basically the Lego Batman games are love letters to everything Batman 2, right down to having Danny Elfman's Batman theme in them. And Catwoman, a lot more cartoony, but very fun. And they do actually reference how hot she is because Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and Harley Quinn have the seductress power. That is actually a power where Catwoman, Harley Quinn, and Poison Ivy can seduce guards into opening secret rooms for them and unlocking areas, and I really like that. They actually address that they're all the femme fatale villains in that game. Catwoman, very fun. Once again, she's acting like a cat, but it's more of a goofy, innocent children's cartoon kind of way. Batman, traps her by leaving out a saucer of milk. They throw her in a cat cage, kind of to the pound. She teams up with Penguin, just like in the Batman Returns movie, and they have this theme where they're going to invade Gotham with his suicide bomber penguins, like in the movie. Catwoman, I thought pretty fun. Not much to say. She doesn't really have a deep character arc, but it's a cutesy kid introduction to Catwoman, and a very fun one. This Catwoman's actually so hot, she makes Lego guys faint over her. Really thinks that funny. Yeah, Gina Gershon was Moxie in the Borderlands. Oh, the movie. Oh, boy. Yeah, Gina Gershon was in a lot of stuff. I really want a new Catwoman comic that plays like a Sylvester, Tweety, and Tom and Jerry cartoon. Well, Glitchy, there actually is a Catwoman comic like that where Catwoman teams up with Sylvester to fight Tweety and Black Canary. Yeah, Linkara, did a review on it. That's how I found out about it. Apparently, Sylvester and Tweety enter the real world, and Sylvester becomes Catwoman's sidekick, and they try to defeat Tweety and Black Canary because they're both the yellow birds. Yeah, that is a real comic. I actually recommend checking it out. It's one of DC's more fun, absurd comedy stories. But anyways, yeah, Lego Catwoman, she's pretty good. I'll put her on, hey, what happened to my valuables? Because it's nostalgic childhood Catwoman. She's definitely enjoyable. Alright, final string. I gotta use the restroom again, but feel free to vote on who you want to see next. Final string, let's go. Alright, I'm back. Let's go. See what you guys voted for. Streeper Catwoman and Telltales. Catwoman Hunted and Katana Catwoman. Maybe Marvel could make a comic that's a team up with Moon Girl and Bonkers. That would be funny. Yeah, okay, Vanessa Marshall played Lego Catwoman. Then Jane Watson. Okay. Oh yeah, she did play Mary Jane too. Loved her in that. Spectacular Spider-Man. Okay, so people want... Alright, let's bite the bullet. Let's talk about Halle Berry Catwoman. Okay, so I'll openly admit this movie, not good. It is kitty litter. It is a bad representation of Catwoman. However, it is a guilty pleasure of mine. I'm not gonna lie. I do watch Catwoman. I love Halle Berry, especially in that outfit where they heavily played up Catwoman's femme fatale sex appeal. It's not really about Selina Kyle or Catwoman pulling robberies in Gotham and getting on wacky cases. It's about a girl named Patience Phillips who exists in a world where there are Catwoman warriors. Magical cats choose a poor, mistreated woman to inherit the power to become a strong, confident badass. And Patience Phillips, played by Halle Berry, is this pathetic loser dork girl who sadly dies. She sees some thugs talking about stuff and learns more information than she should have. They try to kill her, they flood her out of like a dam, and she dies drowning, only for magic cats to come and revive her back to life, giving her the powers, personality, and skills of a cat. And Patience Phillips slowly gets like a hero origin where she becomes Catwoman. Catwoman is a badass warrior, a woman who does what she does and defends good. And we see her adopt her suits. Honestly, Halle Berry's first prototype Catwoman suit looked pretty good. Then she trades up for this super stripper Catwoman outfit, which... not gonna lie, I still have fond memories of. I do have this movie on Blu-ray. The Blu-ray actually came with the Chase Me short from the Paul Dini and Bruce Timm movies. It came with like a Catwoman episode I really like. Have it on Blu-ray because I love Halle Berry. Really enjoy her. Halle Berry much better on Swordfish, if you get my meaning, but... I actually did like this character, but yeah, it is a dog shit movie. It is a bad movie. Did somebody say stripper Catwoman? I thought that's what James was trying to say. He said streeper Catwoman. I don't know if this is a late comment, but I never understood why Catwoman wore goggles with her outfit. Please explain to me. Well, Anime Night, the goggles are implied to do something. Sometimes they're a computer. They help her on, like, her thief jobs. Like, she sees laser grids, she can see traps, she has, like, a detective mode like Batman does in the Arkham games. The goggles are implied to have, like, a mini computer that help her on her villain jobs. That's kind of the thing. Or they hide her identity. It's kind of that simple. I heard this Catwoman film almost made Catwoman fans give up Catwoman herself. How is a good kitty or that will do? Okay. So I see her as Storm on X-Men. Halle Berry was much better as Storm because she got to be in a good comic movie. To see half past holders of Catwoman and so much better than the Miraculous episode reunion. Hey Akira, Miraculous fan over here, don't mess with me. Alright, so where do we put Halle Berry? She is definitely not going on to perfect, but controversial opinion, I will be putting her on Who's a Good Kitty? Yeah, I'll put her under the Chinese Catwoman. Halle Berry, she's hot, she's adorable, she's sweet, she has a lot of cutesy romantic moments with this detective who I believe is supposed to be based off of Batman. That's what the director kind of said. He's supposed to be Batman. She has a romance with a detective named Tom Lone. Some people claim he's supposed to be Slam Bradley, Selina's other love interest in the comics. I know this is not a good movie, this is not a good Catwoman, but I do think Halle Berry did fine. She got a lot right about the character. One, she's hot. Huge points for wearing that outfit. Catwoman is a femme fatale. I laugh at all her goofy cat puns. She does act like a cat like Michelle Pfeiffer, but in a so bad it's good kind of sense. Really funny. And I did find myself caring about the character at least. The movie itself, awful. Her her fight with Michelle, or no, that's not her name, her fight with Sharon Stone. She fights Sharon Stone. It is teased that Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman exists in this universe. There's a brief scene where Catwoman's talking to the creepy old lady, and we see the history of all the Catwomen of the past, and Michelle Pfeiffer has like a pick in that pile somewhere. You mentioned Swordfish. What is this film, and what has Halle Berry? Halle Berry is the sexy femme fatale in Swordfish, and she has one of the best cinematic scenes ever. All the guys who watch Swordfish know exactly what I mean. It's a movie about an espionage heist hacker kind of movie, and Halle Berry plays like the villain's sexy kind of baroness, his second in command, basically. She has very great scenes in that. I'll just leave it at that. Akira, I will go full Tasmanian Devil on you. So Marinette is the non-DC Catwoman. So yeah, Halle Berry's Catwoman, I actually have grown fond of. It is a bad movie, but it's my kind of trash, if you get my drift. I like the Halle Berry Catwoman because she's hot, and I do love the soundtrack. Natasha Snyder's Who's in Control Catwoman theme. That music kicks ass. That is the best part of that movie, and Halle Berry wearing stripperific Catwoman ninja suits is definitely worth seeing. Bad portrayal, but as a Catwoman, I do think Halle Berry was a good option. She is definitely an underrated Catwoman to me, but just part of a trash fire movie. I will put her on Who's a Good Kitty as a compromise. Not perfect, but Halle Berry is hot, and she's sexy, she kicks ass at times, so she definitely had moments where she was a good Catwoman. Alright, who to do next? I'm sure some people might not recognize a few of these Catwomen because we're now in full animation territory, and some of them are from direct-to-video DC stuff. We do have Arkham Knight Catwoman on here still. Might save her for a bit later, but yeah. I never saw the film Swordfish. What scene did she do, or is it too hardcore to explain? Very hardcore anime night. Let's just say YouTube won't be airing a non-age restricted version of the scene. Is Telltale Catwoman on here? Yes, she is, John Smith. She's right here. Alright, people want Telltale Catwoman. I was hoping to end this on a high note, but yeah, Telltale Catwoman going into perfect. Laura Bailey's Catwoman from the Telltale series. Absolutely love her. For the biggest reason, you actually get to date Catwoman in this video game, and that instantly won me over. Telltale series 10 out of 10 Batman game. If you don't know, Telltale games made The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us, and Tales from the Borderlands. They are point and click, your choices matter adventure games, and they finally got the rights to Batman, where they made their first Batman video game right off the heels of the Arkhamverse, so they did have a huge hurdle to jump. For some people they didn't, but I absolutely love the Telltale series. And this might be one of my favorite portrayals of Selina Kyle ever. Once again, we are back to the early days of Batman. Batman meets Catwoman for the first time. She's his first supervillain, and they form a relationship. Depending on your choices, you can be just friends, you can be bitter enemies, and my favorite, you can be full-blown lovers. She is a romance option, kind of like how Mass Effect characters are. Catwoman, basically she's robbing for mysterious villains. I believe the Children of Arkham leader is supposed to be the Scarecrow. She robs them, but she runs afoul of Batman, where they discover each other's identities very fast, because Batman punched Catwoman in the eye, she has a black eye and sounds like Laura Bailey, and yeah, it's not hard to put two and two together. Save Telltale Catwoman for last as a high note. Sorry, Shadowlink. People want to see her, so we'll put her on perfect. I still have some good Catwoman here. Some very good ones. I got Arkham Knight Catwoman still. Laura Bailey's Telltale Catwoman is absolutely fantastic. Joker was cool on Telltale too. Yeah, John Doe made my top 10 Jokers. Laura Bailey made my top 10 Catwomen. And you hook up with Catwoman and get caught. One of the images has Selina wearing a hat like Squidward, attracting the sea bear. Ah, you mean Gotham by Gaslight, Selina. Yeah, we'll get to her. Sorry, just reading some comments. Joker was cool. Loved John Doe, especially in the second game. Huge fan of the Telltale games. Highly underrated games. My personal favorites are Back to the Future and Jurassic Park. Yeah, people forget they made Jurassic Park the game. Along with the Walking Dead games. The Walking Dead ones are what put them on the map, basically. Everyone loves Lee Everett and Clementine killing walkers. If you finish Goosebumps, so which series you want to do? Not sure. Anyways, Laura Bailey, I really love her portrayal of Catwoman. Yes, Laura Bailey basically just does her lust voice from Full Metal Alchemist, but love the writing, love the design, love the sweet, wholesome romance between her and Batman. Yes, you can actually redeem Catwoman through your romance in this. Catwoman basically has the standard romance in the first game. Bruce brings out the good in her. You actually save her. It's implied you can have sex with her, basically. Spoilers, you don't get to see the good parts, but yeah. You can have a full-blown romantic relationship with Selina. She, at first, is using Batman. She's seducing him on purpose, manipulating him, but finds herself actually falling for Bruce and caring more about him. Bruce was supposed to be a mark, but she fell in love with him, realized he was Batman and doing good things, selflessly was actually a nice guy, cared for her, saw her as more than just a supervillain, basically, and that can help redeem her. She disappears at the end of the 5th episode in the first game, only to come back in the second one, The Enemy Within. Enemy Within, love it. It is as good as Arkham City. So, Selina comes back, basically working for Harley Quinn and her makeshift Legion of Doom. They're called the Pact, but come on, they're the Legion of Doom. She runs afoul of them, and basically, she re-meets Bruce. Bruce is undercover as a criminal, just like in a classic Batman story, and of course, Selina recognizes him, and they re-pick up their romance, or can destroy their romance, depending on how you play, and yeah, I really love it. The Batman-Catwoman romance is at an all-time highlight in this series, and basically, they did what everyone was hoping the Arkhamverse was going to do. Have Batman and Catwoman together on romantic, badass adventures. Really liked it. Love their chemistry. Laura Bailey and Troy Baker are always a couple and stuff, which is pretty funny. So honestly, even looks hot even without the Catwoman suit. One of the most attractive versions of Selina Kyle for sure. Yeah, outside of her Catwoman suit, she has this kind of like Snow White kind of look. When I say Snow White, I mean like the Wolf Among Us Snow White. She got the pale skin, like ivory skin, black hair. Looks very hot. Classic femme fatale kind of look. A pale girl with a suave demeanor, charm, charisma. Is there a new Telltale game in 2025? I heard they're working on The Wolf Among Us 2. I'm hoping they make a third Telltale Batman because this game is awesome. Hopefully they make Batman Telltale Season 3, but no, they're working on The Wolf Among Us Season 2 right now, which I am still looking forward to because The Wolf Among Us deserved a sequel. But Vicky Vale is the twist villain of Lady Arkham. Spoilers. Yeah, Vicky Vale is also a romance option. Do not recommend romancing her based on the twist later. Also wish Telltale games could use Miraculous, that we have the Miraculous 2 game, mixed reviews. Unfortunately, Miraculous is owned by France, and Telltale is only working with, like, American franchises, so that is kind of a problem. But yeah, love their dynamic. Selina, there are two paths where basically you can solidify or break up your romance for good in the finale. And this is a bit tricky because there are two finales and two different sets of circumstances you have to play through. There's the villain Joker or the vigilante Joker. In vigilante Joker, Selina is recruited into the Suicide Squad by force. Amanda Waller, succeeds at capturing all of the Legion of Doom. However, John Doe gets away with the virus where he becomes either a vigilante Joker or a villain Joker. I love the vigilante Joker because there's a lot more heartwarming moments, emotion, and a very sad climax, which is very well done. Very good drama. Basically, Selina's recruited into the Suicide Squad, and if you want to, you have to pull certain options to save her. You can basically solidify your romance with Selina and get her free from the Suicide Squad. In the Villain Joker takes Selina hostage, and she gets a lot more screen time here, where basically you're in his jigsaw game. Villain Joker takes all the heroes hostage, including Catwoman, and Selina can also solidify her relationship with Bruce. My only problem is they're out of costume in this. And how do Harley and the goons never put two and two together and realize that Bruce and Selina are Batman and Catwoman? Like, very kind of questionable choices there, but yeah, basically you can become a battle couple in the final episode, and yeah, you can either make or break your relationship with Selina, and I always try and make it with her, because Selina is awesome. Love her charm, her charisma, Lori Bailey's lust voice. Love her design too. Apparently this design is based off of the Arkham Asylum concept art. Been waiting for The Wolf Among Us 2 for a while, ever since that announcement. Yeah, me too, Shadowlink. Really looking forward to that. Just like Mass Effect, in saving her, I mean. Yeah, Telltale has your choices matter and shape how the game plays. To questionable degrees in some of their bad titles. Looking at You, The New Frontier. But yeah, really love the romance between them. This Catwoman is one I'd choose anytime. You have more time with Selina in the villain path over Vigilante, and it sucks. Yeah, that is kind of sad. There's a give and take with villain and Vigilante Joker. Vigilante Joker has its strengths and some disappointments, while villain Joker also has strengths but a lot of disappointments too. Namely, Catwoman got more screen time in the villain path. That is something that always kind of bothered me, but on the plus side, Amanda Waller and Bane got a lot more focus in the Vigilante path. Love the Suicide Squad angle. And you can actually tell Harley that she's nothing to the Joker. Very satisfying. I choose Vigilante Joker every time. I'm sorry, I just do. Like Wolf Among Us is a DC character. Yeah, the Fables are owned by DC. Fables is the comic Wolf Among Us spun off from, and I'm looking forward to their sequel game. Apparently the trailers show Big B is fighting the Wizard of Oz characters. Alright, let's get this list moving. Let's do Gotham by Gaslight Catwoman. She's going on to Who's a Good Kitty? Yeah, I'll put her under Injustice Catwoman. If you don't know, there's a movie called Batman Gotham by Gaslight. This is what if Batman took place in industrial revolutionary era London and Batman solved the case of Jack the Ripper. And of course, all of Batman's characters are in old London times, solving the case of Jack the Ripper. Batman vs. Jack the Ripper really sold me on watching this movie, so I did watch it, and even better, Catwoman is here. And I thought she was okay. Yeah, I thought she was alright. Catwoman is basically a women's rights activist. She's trying to crack the case of the Ripper herself because Gotham PD is sexist and dismissing how all the women are being butchered by Jack the Ripper because they're sex workers, basically. They're call girls. They don't have rights like the rich elitist men who are victimized by the Ripper. And Catwoman inadvertently teams up with Batman. She stages a fake trap to fight Jack the Ripper, but Batman ends up interfering, where they become reluctant allies turned lovers. And yes, Catwoman actually has a nude scene in this movie. She and Bruce do bang. So if you're curious, little kittens, watch it for that. Catwoman does get nude in this movie. So I know my friends are looking forward to that. Gotham by Gaslight is very underrated. It's a pretty fun time with some fun twists to it. Yes, some people actually recommend we review Gotham by Gaslight because we love Batman, and it is a horror movie. It's a whodunit mystery. Loved Batman vs. Jack the Ripper in concept, however, I have mixed feelings on this Selina. Namely, she constantly says that she's a strong, independent woman and not a damsel in distress, only to get captured multiple times and turned into a damsel in distress. We never even see her wear the Catwoman outfit. Yeah, Selina does not dress as Catwoman. She's dressed like this proper lady throughout most of the movie, basically. She and Batman form a reluctant alliance. We learn how this Batman works. Love Bruce Greenwood back as Batman. Love the fighting the Jack the Ripper case style. Selina is just a damsel in distress. That is why I don't like her. She's constantly in need of rescue. She's not as good as combat as the short teases she is. And ultimately, she needs Batman to rescue her at like the World's Fair. The World's Fair set afire. Batman's fighting Jack the Ripper on the Ferris wheel, but Selina was taken hostage and handcuffed to like a railing that's burning down. And yeah, she needed Bruce to save her. That is kind of my problem. This Catwoman is kind of useless. That's why I don't think highly of her. She is a damsel in distress that pretends she's not a damsel in distress, and that's why she's going on Who's a Good Kitty. But Selina having a nude scene and a catty attitude, definitely worthy of praise. But you do get to tell Selina Bruce's true feelings in the vigilante path, which is great. Love her reaction. Yeah, you can say I love you to Selina at the end of the game. Very heartwarming conclusion to the romance. That is one of the pros of vigilante path. Like, it's a shame it doesn't have a cartoon or a movie. The Telltale series or Mass Effect, I can't tell. Gotham by Gaslight is underrated. I remember that film including that scene where Selina got undressed in order to fool the officials that she and Bruce were doing it. Yeah, that is one of the best scenes of the movie, not gonna lie. Like, this is a better superhero in London than Miraculous World London. Jack the Ripper akumatized, that would have been cool. Draw Firepaw getting a makeup haircut. They're cats from Warriors book and series. Could you do a drawing, please? Wolf is the artist. He's the one with the drawing stuff. Anyway, this Catwoman, she's alright. Gotham by Gaslight, underrated murder mystery Batman. Love Bruce Greenwood as the Dark Knight. Hated Yuri Lowenthal as Harvey Dent, but yeah, that's a case for another time. This Catwoman is just meh to me. She's above average, but not one of my all-time favorites. Alright, so gotta use the restroom again. Sorry, I'm drinking a lot of water, but I'll be back. Final string, you guys cast another vote. Let's see who you guys want to see next. BRB. Alright, I'm back. Final string. Who'd you guys vote for? DC Origins Catwoman? Oh, that one. Everyone loves her. Well, I'm back once again. Can hear you now. So, who should we rank next, chat? Somebody wanted us to do a Poison Ivy tier list. Might do that. I hardly know them, so I'm saying DC Origins Catwoman as well. Okay. Let's talk about Eliza Dushku's Catwoman from her DC Origins short film. I loved this short. Going on to perfect. Yeah, I will actually... I'll put her under Adrienne Barbeau and Gina Gershon. Yeah, this is the DC showcase Catwoman. For those of you who don't know, DC has these short films they attach to their Prime movies that are basically fun little adventures, bonus features on their main movie DVDs, and Catwoman got one to complement the year one adaptation. We see Eliza Dushku as Catwoman, and yeah, she has the famous stripper scene. She's hot, she's badass, she kicks ass. I love Eliza Dushku much more in her showcase than in the actual year one movie. Eliza Dushku, she is not one of my all-time favorite Catwoman voices. I know that's blasphemous, but I prefer Grey DeLisle or Barbeau. Eliza Dushku definitely has a more sassy, snippy Catwoman, and very hot. She is this kick-ass femme fatale. She fights this gangster named Rough Cut. Basically, he's human trafficking girls and smuggling diamonds into Gotham. One of the people he's captured and is prostituting is Holly Robinson, a little girl Selina Kyle kind of mothers, kind of like she's her big sister, basically. She wants to save Holly, and she gets advice from a cat on where Rough Cut is, where she poses as a stripper in one of the best scenes ever. Seduces John DiMaggio's Rough Cut, then a fight breaks out across the freeway, basically a car chase. Catwoman is kick-ass. This DC showcase is a perfect 10 out of 10. I did a long review on it, basically praising every little thing about it, and yeah, love her. She is kick-ass. She is awesome. She is hot. This is how Catwoman should be. A million times better than the year one Catwoman, but Eliza Dushku finally got to be one of the best Catwoman ever. Love her showcase, and as you can tell by this image, great design work too. DC showcases were pretty fun, and Catwoman is definitely one of the best. Yeah, we might actually rank DC showcases. Spoilers, Catwoman might be number 1. I hardly know that. Okay, read that one. Jennifer Carpenter was Black Widow. And the Avengers Confidential. No wonder I don't remember. I wish DC showcases had Static Shock. Yeah, they had the Losers and Ted Cord Blue Beetle before Static. Makes sense of that. But yeah, Eliza Dushku's Catwoman going up top. So we should do her other one, the year one Catwoman. And this one, I might put on, well, she'll do. Catwoman is in the Batman Year One movie. This is basically Selina Kyle in her early days. Selina is in Frank Miller's Batman Year One book. Basically, she's working as a prostitute until she sees Bruce Wayne, beats his ass, and then is impressed by Batman. So, I love Batman Year One. I own this movie, mostly because it has my favorite Catwoman short, but Year One is a good movie. It is a 10 out of 10. Awesome Batman masterpiece. One of Frank Miller's best work before he went crazy. And Eliza Dushku, I think she's okay as Selina, but Catwoman is barely a presence in this film. Catwoman doesn't really do much. She's kind of there. We see her watching Batman kick ass, delivering commentary, getting some scenes. We see her starting her Catwoman career, but honestly, she could have been written out entirely and it wouldn't have changed a dang thing. Catwoman is kind of just there in Year One. Not a huge fan of her first outfit. It looks like the Zoe Kravitz outfit, but animated. Basically, she tries to become a vigilante like the Dark Knight. She ambushes Don Falcone, fights him at the bathhouse, claws his face, and this convinces Don Falcone to think Batman and Catwoman are working together. Spoilers, this goes nowhere. The last time we ever see Selina, she's bitching how the news reports that Catwoman is his assistant, which, pretty funny, is sort of a low-key comeuppance for her, but she awkwardly disappears from this movie, and that did kind of hold her back. Even trying to seduce Bruce in disguise, yeah, that didn't happen. Yeah, Eliza Dushku is Faith in Buffy, and she's She-Hulk in the Agents of S.M.A.S.H. Yeah, Eliza Dushku is a good actress and has a really sexy voice, but honestly, her Year One Catwoman, not all that. This is a Catwoman that's kind of just there. She got to do a lot more in her DC Showcase short, which is why she got more points. Anyways, this Catwoman, she'll do. She's just kind of present. Alright, let's get the last weak Catwoman out of the way. Injustice, the animated movie Catwoman, who's also going on, well, she'll do. Yeah, I'll put her over Eliza Dushku's first Catwoman, yeah. Alright, if you don't know, there was a movie based on the Injustice games, and it wasn't all that good. Not gonna lie, there are parts I do like and defend, but not all that hot. Selina, well, you know, I actually might put her on Who's a Good Kitty because they outdid her Injustice 2 version. Yeah, I'll bump her up to Who's a Good Kitty because love her romance with Bruce. Catwoman is definitely one of the highlights in this movie, and she's a lot more critical about Superman's regime. Basically, all the Injustice 1 characters are here, minus the Flash, who gets punk killed early in the film. Basically, she helps Batman. They try and stop Superman's regime from rising in the first place, and I actually do like her as a good supportive girlfriend to Bruce. She's voiced by Princess Tiana from The Princess and the Frog. Not sure why they got her when they could have easily gotten Grey DeLisle in the Injustice cast, but I did kind of like her sweet romance with Bruce. Yeah, I wish Static Shock would get a showcase. Yeah, we need She-Hulk tier list. Spoilers, MCU She-Hulk would go on F. Like Plastic Man was in the Injustice movie, but not in the games. And I hate that Flash gets killed. He's the fastest man alive, and he gets killed. Yeah, apparently a buzzsaw trap was too fast for the fastest man alive. Yeah, the Flash dies. Injustice, not a good movie, but Catwoman's portrayal here is honestly pretty decent. I will defend it. It's actually pretty good. Loved her cute romance with Batman. They are a lot better than their Injustice romance, that's for sure. Basically, she's Batman's supportive girlfriend and helping him stop Superman. There are some question marks that the movie makes, namely the plot, but I do think she was a fine portrayal. We'll put her on Good Kitty. Love the part where she stopped Bruce for beating the post till his knuckles bleed. Very heartwarming. Yeah, she did have good scenes. Her chemistry with Bruce is a lot better, and I actually love that she wants to marry Bruce in the end, compared to Injustice 2 Catwoman, who got bored and dumped his ass. Yeah, definitely the better Injustice Catwoman than the second one. First Injustice Catwoman, still perfect. Alright, so let's talk about the Long Halloween Catwoman, who I will put on... Hey, what happened to my valuables? Yeah, this Catwoman, pretty good. Sadly, the actress who voiced her died after these movies were released. This is, once again, Batman in his early days, and meeting Catwoman for the first time, we actually get confirmation that Selina is indeed the bastard child of Don Falcone. Basically, there's kind of a vague origin story of where Catwoman came from. This one went the route of confirming Don Falcone was Selina's dad and basically abandoned her because she was a bastard child. Selina actually became a thief to get revenge on him and teams up with the Dark Knight because they both want to topple Falcone's criminal empire, entering the Long Halloween story. We'll just say that was Ezra Miller's Flash who died in the Injustice movie. Yep, very happy thoughts there, Shadowlink. Also in Justice the movie, Harley Quinn called Green Arrow's hideout the Quiver, where Batwheels made a reference to it. I love the part where she stopped Bruce. Okay, read that one. Anyways, I think her name was Naya Riviera. She plays Catwoman in this movie, and honestly, she did pretty good. She had a very cute romance again with the Dark Knight. This Catwoman, actually a very loyal, supportive girlfriend. I'm kind of surprised they kept trying to turn Catwoman into a good girlfriend. I mean, we had the Telltale Catwoman, Batman Ninja Catwoman, Injustice animated Catwoman, and now this Long Halloween Catwoman are all supportive girlfriends to Bruce. Very nice to see she actually does care about the Bat. This one, I thought she did a pretty good job. Unfortunately, she never appeared again out of respect for the dead voice actress. She helps Batman topple the Falcone Empire, is helping him on the side, acting sexy, acting mysterious, kicking ass. She helps Batman take down the army of DC villains at the end of the film, and makes peace with Don Falcone when he dies. He gets defeated, he loses control of Gotham to the new breed of supervillains, and Catwoman sort of gets closure on this. What do you think of doing a Harley Quinn tier list? Well, that's the problem, Christopher. I do not like Harley Quinn, and I do not want to be praising Tara Strong right now. Yeah, Nika Nani Rose. Yeah, she played Princess Tia from Princess and the Frog, yeah. Alright, anyways, Long Halloween Catwoman, yeah, she's pretty good. She did her job. I'm sure my friend Bodhi will love Poison Ivy, played by Katie Sackhoff. She was pretty cool and creepy, way hotter, but Catwoman, not bad. Love the allusion to the animated series costume, but I do wish they got her purple outfit. Anyways, good, not great. Alright, final 5. Let's finally wrap this up. We got a lot of good ones here, but we'll go with Batman Hush Catwoman. Alright, this one might upset people, but she's going on, hey, what happened to my valuables? Yeah, this might be another controversial opinion, but I actually enjoy the Batman Hush movie. Yes, I know, they changed a lot. The Riddler and Hush are the same person. Way too much focus on the Bat-Cat romance, but what can I say? I like what I like, and I really loved this Catwoman. She looks hot, she kicks ass, and her romance with the Dark Knight is thoroughly explored in this movie. Batman Hush is not really about Batman versus Hush. It's about Batman and Catwoman's romance, and that's honestly what I really like about the film because I am a sucker for the Bat-Cat ship, and especially Catwoman. Loved her. She's played by Dexter's sister from the Dexter Show, and she did a pretty decent job. Not a top-tier Catwoman voice, but a pretty good portrayal of her. Naya Riviera was also Willa in Baywatch. Okay. Yeah, I actually like Batman Hush. And I really like how Catwoman's depicted. She wants to form a relationship with Batman. Batman Hush is a very quintessential story for the Dark Knight because it's where Catwoman officially becomes a member of the Bat family. Catwoman is adopted by the Bat family, and it's where she and Bruce reveal their identities. She finds out Batman is Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne reveals he knows Catwoman and Selina Kyle have always been the same person. And they open up their relationship because Hush is targeting people he cares about and he wants to protect Catwoman, so he lets her in the Bat family. This is why Catwoman is a central part of Batman's allies, because this story is where their relationship really took off and they changed the status quo. Batman actually trusts Catwoman enough to show his identity and let her in the Batcave. Selina very quickly forms a cute attachment to the family, and yeah, I really like it. We do get a lot of kick-ass scenes. Batman and Catwoman are basically a battle couple in this movie. It is entirely a Dark Knight romance, but that's what I like about it. Love the little brawl between Catwoman and Batgirl. Yeah, that was cute. Yeah, Jennifer Morrison. She was also Wasp in Superhero Squad. Ooh, didn't know that. And Kirk's mom in Star Trek. Okay, didn't know that either. Yeah, I thought Jennifer Morrison did a pretty decent job. Not my all-time #1 voice for Catwoman, but like the writing, like how she was portrayed, like her tragic romance. Basically, Batman and Catwoman realize they're two different people, and the circumstances are heavily changed as to why they break up in this movie. In the movie, it's because of their morals. In the comic, it's because of trust issues. Here, Catwoman is basically still an anti-hero. She's okay with murdering villains, and she ends up murdering the Riddle Hush in the end, and this causes her and Batman to break up because Catwoman can't believe Bruce wouldn't cross the line, and Bruce is shocked that she was willing to kill a bad guy, even though Catwoman is one of the more noble DC characters. The same Jennifer Morrison from Once Upon a Time. I think that is her. Yeah, it's weird seeing Emma from Jessie as Batgirl. Well, Batgirl had like one scene, so I wasn't that shocked by it. Yeah, basically Batman Catwoman break up, she flees and goes to find herself, which will never be resolved because the New 52 animated universe was destroyed by Darkseid. And retconned by a second Flashpoint. Yeah, we'll never see this Catwoman again, but honestly, I thought she was pretty good. I'll put her up top on, hey, what happened to my valuables? Because it was definitely a good Catwoman portrayal. Sorry, I need to get some more water. I'll be right back. Vote on who you want. Final four. Alright, I'm back. Final four, what's it gonna be? Arkham Knight, Katana Catwoman. Like, I love Hynden Walsh's Harley Quinn better as Tara Strong. Fully agree. She was one of the high points of Batman Hush. Too bad Bat-Tanusa Catwoman wasn't on here with sexually harassed by Deadpool. Like, if Tara Strong retired, I hope Hynden Walsh be the permanent Harley Quinn actress. Aren't Tara and Hynden kind of in the same age range, at least? They were both on Teen Titans. She might retire from Harley Quinn, but she'll definitely be a voice actor still. Save Arkham Knight for last, like you warned. Okay. So, we got a lot of good Catwoman left, so I guess we'll do Catwoman from Brave and the Bold, Nika Futterman's Catwoman, who I will put on, hey, what happened to my valuables? Yeah, really dug Nika Futterman. I might put her under Zoe Kravitz, though. That one, I did remember Zoe Kravitz got a higher ranking. Love Nika Futterman from Batman the Brave and the Bold. She basically uses her Asajj Ventress voice for Catwoman. It is the exact same femme fatale voice. Nika Futterman, her favorite characters for me are easily her Catwoman and Lady J from G.I. Joe Renegades. Nika's got a very suave, sensual voice and definitely brought a new life to Catwoman. Basically, this Selina has her classic outfit, or like her dress. She wears like a black dress, like has a skirt, wears the classic Catwoman mask, and lets her long hair flow. They did make it purple to look like her original design. So, Brave and the Bold, highly underrated masterpiece. It is a fun DC show, basically embracing everything about the comics, the serious stuff and the goofy stuff, and Catwoman and Batman's relationship is a lot more playful, classic kind of Adam West, Julie Newmar kind of relationship, and it is so fun. Really solid chemistry between Nika and Diedrich Bader. They really got it on. They sound like they've banged a lot. Yeah, Luna Loud, Catwoman. Yeah, that's right. Another Loud House girl plays her. Nika Futterman is Luna Loud and Catwoman. And we had Lynn Loud as Catwoman. There she is, down here on the DC superhero girl side. She was also Zira from The Lion Guard and JP. Oh, yeah, she was in the Jurassic Park Telltale game. She like plays the mercenary girl who looks like Vasquez from Aliens. Anyways, love her voice, love her look. She does not make it to perfect because of one reason. She got a god-awful redesign. I did not like how she looked in the final season. They gave her a new Catwoman outfit. It's also in the Scooby-Doo meets Batman Brave and the Bold movie, where it looks hideous. She has like a Betty Boop housewife mixed with a cat kind of look. They literally gave her cat eyes, and did not look good. It did not look good. I like her classic dress outfit. This Catwoman, very hot, smug, arrogant. Love her chemistry with the Birds of Prey. There's an infamous banned episode of Brave and the Bold where Batman teams up with the Birds of Prey. In this version, it's Black Canary, Huntress, and Catwoman, and Catwoman is very catty against Huntress and Black Canary. She makes fun of Dinah's voice, basically, which very fun. This Catwoman is very sassy and playful. She teases the other girls, but she also has a lot of chemistry with Batman. I'm convinced that they were banging. Also, she's actually Damian Wayne's mom in this version, which is a huge upgrade from that evil bitch. Yeah, the Catmobile is cool. There was a Wacky Races episode. Just like Gina Gershon's Catwoman, this one gets into a lot of fun adventures. This is a fun DC show with a lot of goofy and absurd stuff, but it's so funny and so enjoyable. Brave and the Bold is an underrated masterpiece, and I do think Nika Futterman's Catwoman is really cool. The only thing holding her back from S tier is her god-awful redesign in the final season. But yeah, she is a definite fave of mine, and she did make my top 10 best favorite Batman. No, sorry, top 10 best favorite Catwomen. Yeah, she is on that list, so go check that list out if you want to see who my top 10 are, but on the list, she'll be on, hey, what happened to my valuables? Wait, I did see Netflix years ago was a Ben 8. Don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Alright, we gotta finish this. Final 3. Let's talk about Elizabeth Gillies as Catwoman from Catwoman Hunted, the anime Catwoman movie. Going on to perfect. Yeah, I'll put her under Cameron. Yeah, I know this is gonna shock a lot of you, but I actually enjoyed Catwoman Hunted. It is by no means one of the best DC movies ever, but Catwoman was perfect. Catwoman's played by my victorious crush, Jade West, Elizabeth Gillies, and she really knocked it out of the park. Elizabeth was very good at Catwoman, and the anime had a lot of fun making her a sexy femme fatale. Catwoman is kick-ass, she's playful, has kind of a dorky side in this movie too, and very hot. She is a hot anime character. They nailed how she looks in this movie. Elizabeth Gillies really needs to voice Catwoman more. Fully agree, Shadowlink. Gillies should be the new voice for Catwoman if Grey DeLisle ever departs from the role. She is easily one of my favorite Catwoman voices. She sounds smooth, she's hot, she's sensual, she seduces everyone in the room, including Batwoman. Oh yeah, Batwoman is also in the movie, and she is much better than that CW trash. So yeah, I liked her a lot more. Cute rivalry between her and the cheetah. That's right, we finally get the ultimate cat fight in a serious movie, Catwoman versus the cheetah. The cheetah is technically the main villain of this movie. Spoilers, she's working for Talia al Ghul, who I guess they're saving for a sequel. Cheetah is actually the head of an evil crime organization trying to build their armada. However, they stole a precious jewel that Catwoman was trying to hunt, basically. Catwoman gets roped in by the government to pull a Suicide Squad style mission where she has to help them take down this criminal network. Cheetah gathered some obscure DC villains, including Black Mask, who's in here. I did like the guy playing Black Mask. He sounded really scary. My kind of party. Yep, you know that line from my video. She's also Daphne in the Winx Club. Yeah, that's right, they got Nick actresses to dub that. Also, Catwoman and Cheetah fight anime style. The one thing I didn't like is I didn't like Cheetah's cheetah form. Yeah, I know it's supposed to be comic accurate mixed with anime, but what can I say? I love Bruce Timm's look for her in Justice League Unlimited. That was my waifu Cheetah, but Catwoman hunted. Epic climax between the Cheetah and Catwoman, the ultimate cat fight. Big cat fight, where Cheetah's this big scary Resident Evil boss cat fighting Catwoman very brutally too. Catwoman is not a Mary Sue in this. She does suffer. She is the butt of a joke at times. She is not flawless as usual up until the end. And yeah, Elizabeth Gillies knocked it out of the park, and the animators absolutely nailed Catwoman's beauty, that's for certain. Yeah, they changed her silly orange goggles, I think red goggles, into her blue ones so it looks a lot more natural. Catwoman is so fun in this movie. I know I have received requests to talk about Catwoman Hunted because I'm such a Selina fan. Maybe one day, but for now, Elizabeth Gillies is a Catwoman I'd hunt any day. She is perfect. Alright, final two. Agree, Cat. Thanks, Christopher. Kirby Howe Baptiste was Cheetah. She was Dr. May Turner in the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. Never saw that. And Judge Upson Bottom from Big City Greens. Oh, that was her. Okay, she's got some range. Alright, let's talk about the one you probably don't recognize on here. Katana Catwoman. Yes, Katana is actually Catwoman in a DLC skin. And just to have some fun, she is going up on perfect. Yeah, Katana, love her. She made my waifus list, and she really pulls off the Catwoman look. Definitely gonna give her points for that. Like, who doesn't love it? I love Catwoman, and I love Katana. So, of course, I'll love Catwoman and Katana put together. Skin looks really hot, really sexy, and knowing Katana is a Catwoman fan fills me up with so much glee. Love you, Katana, and I love you dressing up as one of my favorite girls. What went wrong with Knight's Catwoman, honestly? Like, we need purple goggles and teal goggles. Like, it's a shame Catwoman actress didn't voice Katana in the Catwoman skin. Technically, Grades Allele did voice Katana, but in the animated movies. So Grades Allele has played Catwoman in DC, and played Katana for Mortal Kombat. So Grades Allele is the bridge between Catwoman and Katana for sure. This is Kari Walgren's Katana, though, who I also love. Yeah, she's going on perfect. Alright, so let's finish this list with a real Catwoman, the Arkham Knight Catwoman. So, my friend Bodie's gonna be very pissed. Or an MK character tier list in general. Yeah, that would be pretty fun. Katana tier list. Might do that too. Yeah, I haven't played the old games, the Mortal Kombat Armageddon and Shaolin Monks. Sorry, those were kind of before my time. I never got to play those, so I'll have to watch the cutscenes to judge the characters. Anyways, Arkham Knight Catwoman. So, I know my friend Bodie's gonna be very upset because basically Arkham Knight took a lot of mocap face technology. They motion captured the faces of the voice actors and put them onto Batman characters, and infamously, Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and Harley Quinn had noticeable redesigns where they projected their faces onto the characters' bodies. So it's kind of weird because they took Grades Allele's real face and put it onto Catwoman. They did this for Poison Ivy, like Tasia Valenza's faces on Poison Ivy, and she looks really weird in that game, and Tara Strong's face is put onto Harley Quinn. She honestly came out looking the best because it at least looked like it matched the body. Grades Allele's face on Catwoman is more so in the middle, but Arkham Knight's writing for Catwoman, definitely perfect. Don't worry, Bodhi, I'll put her low, but yeah, she'll go behind Elizabeth Gillies. Yeah, so Arkham Knight, basically the same Catwoman we saw earlier. They did give her a redesign. I heard this was to make them look more realistic, but I think they just wanted to have the voice actors like appear because it was a finale game. So if you don't know, Arkham Knight Selina, she's taken hostage by the Riddler and used in a side quest of traps where you have to hunt Riddler trophies in order to save sexy Catwoman. Which, not gonna lie, pretty good motivation there. I knew I would hunt every Riddler trophy to save my Selina. Grey DeLisle knocks it out of the park. She owns the role. Say what you will about her design, but she acts like Catwoman. She's hot. Grey DeLisle is at least pretty in real life, so her face was not too much of an issue for me. Yeah, I know, it's not as hot as Arkham City, Bodhi, but Grey DeLisle is not ugly in real life. I like Grey DeLisle's Catwoman is my dream come true. Yeah, this was kind of it. Grey DeLisle actually got her face shown as Catwoman, which, a bit weird. Tasia Valenza looked awful as Poison Ivy. I like her voice. I liked her look in the first two games, but when they actually gave her the redesign, they made Ivy look like Shrek. Valenza's face did not match well with Ivy's body. Nah, put her on perfect. This is your list. Yeah, sorry. I love her because she and Kevin Conroy's Batman, of course, have romantic moments. They team up, they defeat the Riddler, and honestly, isn't that so much fun, beating up the annoying Riddler with the best girl? But yeah, design sucks. Narratively, it was a great closure to Bruce and Selina's relationship in Arkham, can't deny. Yeah, she won points for the writing, and honestly, I think Grey DeLisle is real pretty, so she definitely did not make me upchuck like Poison Ivy's did. So like Saw DC. Oh, and by the way, while I'm here, screw the Riddler's Revenge Catwoman DLC. Screw that DLC, that was a nightmare. Yeah, great closure to their relationship for the Arkhamverse. It's a shame Riddler's show have say I want to play a little game with you. Yeah, because Riddler was Jigsaw. Indeed, she is a cat. I mean, it's a Zula we're talking about. Shame you didn't get to play as Catwoman as much in Arkham Knight. Well, Shadow, we got the Riddler's Revenge DLC to thank for that. Yeah, remember that Arkham episode? The one everybody absolutely loved? You know, with the ever-changing electric floors and the annoying robots everywhere? And man, compete with her, these Riddler challenges in Trial be a pain. Looking at you, Race Challenge 9. Yeah, condemned, I remember that. This was a great list of Catwoman, buddy. Thanks, Bodhi, glad you liked it. Well, I hope to see Grey DeLisle give Daphne Blake their face. Or maybe with Christina V, use her face on future Catwoman faces. Well, Christina V is also kind of dark skinned. She's Hispanic, so it might look a bit weird seeing a tan Catwoman. But yeah, Arkham Knight Selina, just as good as Arkham City Selina. Really like that they gave closure to her and Batman's relationship, though of course Laura Bailey absolutely outclassed Arkham Knight Selina all the way in terms of love story, but loved her. Grey DeLisle still owns the role. Pretty satisfying getting a proper ending for her and Bruce after beating up the Riddler, and beating up the Riddler together is fun too, which makes her perfect. So as you can see, that pretty much completes our list. We are completely out of Catwomen. This is my entire list. Sorry, the ad keeps getting in the way, but yeah, basically the upper half of Bad Kitty to Perfect is all my Catwomen I care about. We'll go over this one more time for any late birds who didn't hear what I said earlier. Grey DeLisle is the best. The DLC in Night was so infuriating. Fully agree, Bodhi. Well, this was a fun, nice tier list. Great content as usual, Cat. Looking forward for more yet to come. If you rate Christina V Catwoman outfit, where would you put it on the list? Probably perfect, or hey, what happened to my valuables, depending on how convincing she looks. It's done. Alright, we'll go over it one last time for any late birds, so give me a minute. So, Catzilla. These are Catwomen I don't recognize and never saw. Batwheels Catwoman, the 70s show Catwoman, the Super Friends Catwoman, and unfortunately Cape Crusader Catwoman, which I have not seen. Just don't know anything about these, but not a big fan of the Batwheels one, not her look at least. Needs to be declawed. The worst Catwoman is Anne Hathaway. Do not like her. I do not like The Dark Knight Rises, and her portrayal of Catwoman is terrible because they made her unsympathetic. And Birds of Prey Catwoman, not enough screen time, and they kind of retcon way too much about her. She was barely a presence. Was not impressed with her. Well, she'll do. The okay Catwoman. Zoe Kravitz's Lego Catwoman, because she had like 3 minutes of screen time. The infamous sexy Felix the Cat Catwoman, bad design but good episodes. Still not a huge fan of what they did to my girl. Sonya Lathane's Harley Quinn Catwoman, liked her at first but she went downhill in later seasons when they made her unlikable. And Eliza Dushku's prototype Catwoman, just barely a presence in Batman Year One. She wasn't a part of the story enough, so she'll do. She'll do. Anyway, who's a good kitty? The definitely decent Catwomen are Mortal Kombat vs. DC Catwoman. I liked her design, but not much character. Injustice 2 Catwoman. Liked her up until her arcade ending. DC Superhero Girls Catwoman, the first one. I liked her, she was pretty fun, she was adorable, just not much screen time. Halle Berry's Catwoman, yeah I know, infamous choice, but I will defend her because I do love Halle Berry and think she's hot. That is the only reason why she's not on F, guys, because Halle Berry at least looked hot. The Chinese Catwoman from the DC Nation shorts, she was cool, but not too much to her. Injustice Catwoman had a lot of sweet, wholesome moments, but she was held back by a very bad movie. Gotham by Gaslight Catwoman. Liked her, but unfortunately she needed rescuing too often, was a total damsel in distress Catwoman, and I like my cat burglars to be kick-ass. Injustice Catwoman, the alternate design, not a huge fan of how she looks. They did not pull off the long Halloween look very well, but Grey DeLille is always a win. And speaking of which, Arkham Origins Blackgate Catwoman, liked how she looked and acted, but was held back by a garbage game, and she did not have much chemistry with Roger Craig Smith. Just checking the comments. Alright, it's done, yeah. What happened to my valuables? Zoe Kravitz Catwoman, really liked the movie. She was held back by how she didn't get a good costume and one racist line. The Batman, I actually did enjoy, and I do like Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, but far from perfect. Nika Futterman's Brave and the Bold Catwoman, really love it. She is an awesome Catwoman up until her god-awful new costume in the last season. Batman Hush Catwoman, actually enjoyed her. I will defend that this is a decent Catwoman. Unfortunately held back by a very mixed movie. Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman, I do not like Batman Returns, but Michelle Pfeiffer did a decent job being the cat burglar. She was hot and kick-ass, and that's really all you need. Cree Summers, DC Superhero Girls Catwoman, a fun, loving tribute to Eartha Kitt, who is also on this list. Eartha Kitt, she did her job well. She was fine. I wish they did more with her, which is why she's not top kitty, but I think she's fine. Speaking of which, Lee Merriweather Catwoman, she was my first Catwoman, so she'll always have a special place in my heart, but she did a pretty good job standing in for Julie Newmar. Lego Catwoman, she was fun to play as, liked her in the Lego titles, a much goofier Catwoman, but one very entertaining. And the late Naya Riviera Catwoman from Long Halloween, pretty good. Unfortunately, we did not get enough with her because of the tragic passing of the voice actress, but The Long Halloween was definitely a good movie series, and I loved what she did for Catwoman. Alright, finally the perfect. Kitana Catwoman. Love Kitana, love Catwoman, so of course I love her cosplaying as Catwoman. Injustice Catwoman, the first one. Very good, fun playing as her, love her acrobatics, her sexy cartwheels, love how nimble and quick this Selina is. Very cool. Arkham Knight Catwoman, very good. It's just an extension of the Arkham City Catwoman. Grey DeLisle knocks it out of the park, loved the writing behind her, and loved her chemistry with Kevin Conroy. Got a lot more romance from her. Elizabeth Gillies Catwoman. Catwoman Hunted, not one of the best movies, but I really love it. Love Eliza as Catwoman. I hope she plays her again one day because she was definitely perfect. Gotham Selina. Cameron Bicondova really owned this role, made Catwoman her own. Love the prequel origin behind Catwoman, and they did a lot of fun things with her. So she is definitely a good Selina. She even made it on my top 10 list. Julie Newmar, classic. She is one of the best Catwomen ever. She looks hot, she kicks ass, and she really owns the cat persona. She is an all-time icon for Catwoman, and I stand by her being perfect. DC Showcase Eliza Dushku Catwoman. Yeah, I love the DC short. Did a whole review on it. But yeah, this Catwoman is easily perfect. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer is my first. Good for you. I do like her, but not enough to make her higher. Watch my top 10 if you want to see me praise her. Do a Black Cat tier list, maybe one day. Gina Gershon's The Batman Catwoman. Highly underrated. She is kick-ass. Love a ninja Catwoman. She is so much fun. Hope Gina gets to play her one last time. Adrienne Barbeau's Catwoman from Batman the Animated Series. Classic. Just like the show, it's just like the show she spawns from. This is a great depiction of the cat burglar. Adrienne Barbeau will forever be one of the best Catwoman voices ever, and the show did not fail her. Until the redesign. Batman Ninja Selina. Yep, she's hot. She's cool. Love the ninja looking Catwoman again. Grey DeLisle voices her, so of course it was a perfect 10 out of 10. Like how she looks. Batman Ninja is a very silly movie, but their Catwoman and Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn were so much fun. I will say she was a perfect one. Then Telltale Catwoman. Awesome. Dating Catwoman, the gaming simulator. What more can you say? Love Laura Bailey's Catwoman, and the Telltale games brought my dream to life where you can actually romance Selina Kyle. And number 1, Arkham City Catwoman, because of course she is. The Arkhamverse is great. Definitive depictions of a lot of DC icons, and Catwoman, definitely one of them. One of my greatest video game crushes of all time, and Grey DeLisle became one of the fan favorite voices of Catwoman thanks to this performance. That's how perfect she is. So yeah, that pretty much completes our tier list. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see what we do next time in the future. But I'm glad you guys slashed in to check out a lot of cute kitties. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, or just tune in for more videos posted here on Wolf Entertainment. I'm your host, Catastrophe, and I hope you tune in. Same cat time, same cat channel.